This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 1896. Lady Yodelay previews. Welcome to the show. I'm Adam Murdo.
I'm Ian Levinstein.
I'm Shane Kelly.
And I'm Chris Everly. I love that theme.
Yes, and especially with Murd's illustrious facial hair tonight, we most definitely needed something a little bit throwbacky.
A bit of Murdo Incognito tonight.
Yes.
And which model of the Enterprise are you showing us there?
So this is the 1987 Galoob die-cast Next Generation.
Wow.
Ooh.
Comes in pieces.
Nice.
Of course, I still have it, like an idiot. But yeah, I dug it out to just do that stupidity in the beginning of the show because of Picard ending noir.
Please, by all means.
And the other things are the new McFarlane Retro 66 Batman figures, King Tut and Two-Face, which Two-Face was never on the show, but this is modeled after the animated version that came out a few years ago with William Shatner playing Two-Face.
Yep.
So they just arrived.
Does Galoob still exist? No, I didn't think so. Okay.
I don't think so. I haven't heard of them in ages.
Yeah.
Galoob went the way of Toy Biz and all that jazz. Sure it got absorbed by some other,
Toy Biz, Kenner,
Kenner Place.
Yes.
I know Kenner squarely got absorbed by Hasbro. I'm not sure about where Galoob ended up getting absorbed from.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Hasbro too, because it feels like Hasbro owns everybody at this point.
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yep.
Except Mattel.
Yep. Well, welcome one and all to the show. It is indeed previews time yet again, as we are just about mid-month as we record this. And this will be the April previews for mostly books for the month of June, availability-wise, outside of the occasional trade that will probably be early solicited. Previews issue 415. DC Connect issue 35 and Marvel issue 19. I think it's volume 6, but who cares? And it's already a good month for previews. Just even looking at the covers for these things, we'll get there when we get there. But very much looking forward to going through the summer of previews. My God, man, summer books already. Come on, where's it? Where's it coming?
Said it before, I'll say it again. I miss when everything was in one damn book.
I agree.
I hear you.
Yep.
That's so asinine.
Yeah.
The old fanboy on the lawn.
I'm sorry. I'm a little curmudgeon today for some reason. Get off my lawn. Give me my one previews book.
Well, you there, listeners at patreon.com/comicgeekspeak are one of the many reasons why these episodes continue to happen. And we thank you so much for that continued support that you give each and every month. However, you can give it for as little as $1 a month. You can go ahead and contribute to the continuation of this show, and also our illustrious studio, which we hope to be in sometime in the not too distant future, one way or the other. We'll figure it out. But if you are a member of the Patreon, you also get access to an RSS feed for when we do get to release things special to you guys, whether it be early episodes or some ancillary stuff. I recently put up a video transition that our one and only Tom Martinek put together for us that I was able to utilize for our last comic talk, as we had a late-breaking Star Trek news. So I was able to use his Batman-esque transition that he made for us.
Oh, that's cool.
Super damn cool. And that's posted there on the Patreon for anybody who wants to see it. Patreon.com/comicgeekspeak. Also, old school donations available via PayPal at comicgeekspeak.com/donate.php. Or just spread the word about the show, reviews, spreading the word to friends, family, relatives, rabbis, whatever you want to do. We greatly appreciate any thing that you can do to help spread the word on the show. And that's what matters the most. So thank you so much for your continued support.
Thank you indeed.
Yep. That rabbi's comment was just for you, Chris, because I knew
I appreciated it.
There we go.
I love when you get Hebraic on us.
Amen. And L'chaim while I'm at it. Murd, I know we still have not put out the best of finals and what have you, but hopefully sometime within the next couple of episodes we'll definitely put that out. But I'm not putting you on the spot here or anything of the sort. Maybe for our next episode, before we get into our special, we can have time to just let people know what won, and everybody can stay tuned for that.
Okay, well, the results are all in hand and ready to be released whenever.
Excellent. Fantastic. We know these episodes are long enough as is, so I don't want to add to the length in any way, shape, or form.
Good thinking.
All right. Well, it is indeed previews time, as we said. Let me go ahead and start sharing the screen, and we will get to the cover for this month's main previews catalog, the Diamond Previews. And we get a new Robert Kirkman book, Void Rivals, that we'll be talking about pretty darn soon in full solicitation. Launch of an all-new shared universe out of Image. And Conan the Barbarian is back on the back cover there.
And also on the spine.
Ah, nice. Very good.
I wouldn't know my previews didn't come yet.
Oh, no. Although these solicitations, are for June books, I will just remind folks one last time, as chances are our next edition of the previews catalog will happen after the fact. But Free Comic Book Day is May 6th. If you have not put in your orders, then please make sure to visit your local comic book shop and get some free books. And while you're at it, buy some stuff, because these free books are not free to your stores.
No, they are not.
Yep.
Nope.
So please remember that. And, whatever you can patron your local store, do so. In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I remember going back to my retail days. I always loved the people who came in and took the books and walked out. Those were my favorites.
I think you're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I always liked how Golden Eagle did it. You got a couple for free and you get as many as you wanted to, but then they donate it to some charitable organization.
Nice. Yeah, like after the first two or three, it was like a buck a piece or 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah, 50 cents it wasn't much. It was well worth it.
That's not bad at all.
No.
Look at that romance tribute cover, Murd.
Yeah, indeed.
It's a 100-page super spectacular, too.
Yep. Fantastic.
Page 42 starts us off with Image this month. Eric Larson, 267 issues of Savage Dragon. And we have a wedding going on as Savage Dragon's adopted daughter, Angel, gets married to Frank Darling Jr. at long last. But will the happy occasion be a living nightmare? Bum, bum, bum.
Well, it's a comic book wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
They're finally getting married.
I love when Shane starts to lose it so early.
Oh yeah,
that's Muppets Take Manhattan, right?
I was gonna say, the dragon takes Manhattan here.
Yeah,
exactly. And yeah, just the whole overall pastiche of it all, like going for that 70s Marvel look is it's just perfect. Absolutely.
Or 70s DC look.
You see the 100-page spectacular, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. A little bit of A, a little bit of B there.
Just miss the 70s and 80s comics so bad.
Flavor of nostalgia floats your boat.
Exactly. All right, over on page 44, John Layman gets in a new book, another gem of the month here, In Hell We Fight, #1. The bombastic world-building and adventure-seeking of 8 billion genies paired with the trademark storytelling sharpness of Chew. That sounds good to me. And life in hell, it ain't easy. And we are learning that in spades here, as John Layman brings us a book with art by Jock, J-O-K, not Jacques, but Jock. And monsters will want to eat you. There's stunning lack of reliable indoor plumbing, and it's almost impossible to get ice cream. That sounds like hell to me. Love the artwork.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Very, very nicely rendered. And ooh,
wow.
It almost looks like a Chog, actually. Talking about Chew right there. It's very much reminding me of that weird, not quite chicken toad from Chew. All there on page 47 for that. And then page 48 brings us Void Rivals by Robert Kirkman, art by Lorenzo De Felici and Matthias Lopez.
I really, really like this art.
Yes, as do I. Looking at the artwork on the next couple of pages. Nice traditional line.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the I don't know, the coloring's just spot on. It just, I don't know, it just looks spectacular.
Absolutely. Mind you, the most anticipated new series of the year kicks off here for fans of Saga and Star Wars.
Or the movie Enemy Mine.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's basically,
movie.
wasn't that the premise of Enemy Mine, Shane? Two opposing pilots crash land on a planet?
Yeah,
right?
It was.
Okay.
Which I think, God, I watched I watched at least like a half hour, like behind the scenes thing on YouTube at one point, and that's even based on another.
Well, it's based on, I think, on a
book or something.
No, I think it's a Borman movie with Lee Marvin and I think Toshiro Mifune, with the Japanese American soldiers stranded on an island. I forgot the name of it. So
I just can't remember, but I remember it was fascinating. As people scream at the device they're listening to and going, "Well, how can you remember it?" But it's still fascinating. Yeah, I get it. But it was. I love behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, this sounds really good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Derek and his rival Celia both crash on a desolate planet, and these two enemies must find a way to escape together. Also, kind of immediately has a Wild West vibe, just with that general premise. Thinking of how often, like the rival, sheriff and criminal have to gang together in order to get out of a sticky situation or what have you.
And didn't in Enemy Mine, wasn't it Lou Gossett Jr. and he talked like this to be kind of the alien part of it?
Talking through many thick layers of latex and makeup.
Yeah. God, this was such a good movie.
Sounds about right.
Wow.
Now, I'm pretty sure I don't have the first 9 issues anymore, so I got to figure out how to get them back.
Wow.
Funny you mentioned that, Shane, actually. Well, first off, it's on page 52, so just got to point that out.
Yeah.
The Battle Chasers anthology is a good way of catching up, and also I know that I think that was actually the full collection that was mentioned recently on the Supergroup, correct?
I think so too. It wasn't many issues that came out.
Yes, and my favorite talking point to this day that I also brought up on the Supergroup when the collection was mentioned very recently was, why did he stop doing this book? Well, it's quite simple, really. Joe Madureira got a Japanese version of Final Fantasy VIII and lost track of time as he tried to play through it entirely without actually knowing Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah. That delayed Battle Chasers. And
wait, are you kidding?
I am not kidding. I am completely not kidding. That is how Joe Madureira initially fell off the Battle Chasers wagon back in the day.
Did he need to make a living?
Yeah, but he also at that time had that thick X-Men money.
That's true.
So that kind of helped him out a decent amount.
So I've never read this book. First of all, when did this even come out? I don't even remember now.
Oh my God, it was the 90s, the early 2000s.
It was the 90s. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've got to see what this J. Scott Campbell cover was, because he did a cover for the original series, which I do think I still have that one. I may have gotten rid of the other issues, but I'm pretty sure I still have that one.
They also made an RPG out of Battle Chasers at one. Yep. So it is one of those everlasting properties that's been around forever. April 1998 is when the book initially launched, and it 9 issues until September 2001.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Part of an imprint called Cliffhanger, I think.
Yep.
And
You're
Danger Girl
right.
was part of the same thing. That's right.
You're right. You are correct. I believe there was a preview issue which had snippets of Battle Chasers, Danger Girl, and I want to say a third property. I cannot remember what.
Yep. But yeah, here we are returning to it with an issue 10. Returning to it after all these years, and he is doing just the story artwork this time by Mudo Lullaby on the artwork chores. So it's probably a lot less likely to fall behind if Joe Mad is only doing the story.
But the art looks pretty good on the next page. It looks like a pretty good match for what came before.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely, yeah. And I would say that the artwork it almost has like a Joe Mad meets Mike flair to it.
Yeah,
and I am not mad at that. That works quite nicely.
Yep.
So yeah, any of you Battle Chasers fans, buy the collection and then catch yourself up in time for issue 10, which will be coming soon.
That's exciting.
Yep. And then Jeff Lemire fans on page 54, you get a new Lemire Sorrentino Bone Orchard, this time Tenement, issue 1 of 10, launching very, very soon. From the creative team behind Gideon Falls, Primordial, and 10,000 Black Feathers, brings you The Tenement.
Andrea Sorrentino, great artist. Ugh.
Oh my God, that artwork! Whew. What perfectly realized faces! Like the emotion in every single one of those faces is.
Primordial was the story with Laika, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. That story, so good.
Mm-hmm. And The Tenement. I live in an apartment building, so immediately when I see a scary apartment building, I run the other way.
I would as well.
Yes.
Another great artist, Andrea Moody. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. With Ryan Cady, series premiere here, Haunt You to the End. The ghost story for the end of the world. On page 56. In a not too distant future, rife with climate disasters and worldwide instability, an eccentric billionaire and his crew, a disgraced journalist, a radical doctor, a TV dermatologist.
Demonologist.
I'm sorry. I like
dermatologist would be fun too.
I know, yeah. That's that damn font throwing me off here. Like trying to read that font on this is just gonna make me make mistakes like that all damn day. Thanks, Image. Demonologist. I really like mine better. And
I was kind of wondering what a pimple popper would be doing to a ghost.
I know, right? Just straight off the pages of Dr. Phil or what have you.
Yeah.
A squad of hard-bitten military contractors set out to prove the existence of life after death. But even if their mission is a success, the truth behind the most haunted place on Earth may not be the comforting revelation the world is hoping for.
That's a very interesting premise.
It is indeed.
It does stand to reason that the impending extinction of humankind would lead to some heightened interest in the paranormal.
Yeah,
certainly. Very, very clean line work here. Also, like not a lot of extra, sketchiness going on here. Straight and to the point with the artwork, and that is what we expect from Mr. Moody.
Am I looking at that wrong, or does it look kind of watercolorish as well for the coloring?
Yeah, good call on that one. Yeah, certainly what they're aiming for, whether it's actual watercolors or whether that's just the the digital style that he's going with. That certainly seems to be what they're aiming for. Doug Wagner, wow, new Doug Wagner book on page 58. Click boom, art and cover by Doug Dabbs and Matt Wilson. Meet Sprout, a mute assassin who communicates exclusively through Polaroid pictures. That's a fun premise. Wow.
Do Polaroid cameras, can you still get them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
There's new up-to-date versions of them. My nephew has one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually have one too. It's essentially a digital camera that prints out now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because then you get the digital copy, but you could also print it out as a Polaroid. Now she's headed to the big lights of New York City to avenge her grandfather's murder. But will the city's mesmerizing glitz and glam help her succeed or be the death of her?
Geez, I didn't realize that was a piece of cake she had. I thought it was a remote control. Like click, click, boom.
You are absolutely right. Yeah, like it looks like she's about to blow somebody up with a piece of layer cake.
Yeah.
Or she's just enjoying herself having a snack while she's committing murder.
Possible. She is in New York City. That could be a piece of Junior's cheesecake for all we know. Page 58 for that click, click, boom action. And also Tales of Suspense by Chris Ryle, T.P. Louise, and Ashley Wood, following on page 60, as the split book revival is underway at Syzygy. Tales of Suspense.
That was a valiant effort, my friend. A valiant effort.
Oh, I know. I knew I was going to fail miserably on it, but yeah, 2 titanic 12-page tales of terror and turmoil. Excelsior. That is very Stan Lee-esque speech right there. But
well, look at that tribute cover to Marvel Tales of Suspense, the Iron Man introducing Captain America cover, which they've repurposed.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Good stuff indeed on page 60. And wow, ooh, my God, that artwork on the following page. That is something else. Really digging that. All right.
Can you dig it?
I can
dig it.
I can dig it. Scott Snyder has a Noctera Nemesis special with Liam Sharp on the artwork chores on page 64. Conclusion of the No Breaks storyline for Noctera, finishing up in this one-shot on page 64 there. And then into the trades we go for Image. Inferno Girl Red, Book 1. For any of you looking for further jump into the Radiant Black world on page 67. You get the first of the Massive Verse side story there with the first trade paperback of that.
Well, here you go, honey.
Yep, new edition of Invincible Volume 1. Whole new cover and trade dress to go along with it on page 68. Always nice to see that republished in any way that they decide to do so. And this is the first 7 issues of one of my favorite books, page 68.
And then following that is the compendium.
Yep. If you want to hold something very heavy, which I'm sure Shane wants to do.
Nope. Although there is something being resolicited later in previews that I am going to order a copy of. That is a little bit of a thicker tome.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can't
wait. Still not 10,000 pages long, but...
Oh, no. Definitely not. This is 640 pages of comics right here on page 69.
Yeah. It's nothing but Invincible spin-offs, yes?
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Invincible presents Adam Eve and Rexplode, Guarding the Globe, volume 1 through 6. Then a second volume of that, and Invincible Universe, issues 1 through 12. I think I own all of that other than the second volume of Guarding the Globe and the Invincible Universe, which really, really were just side stories. Meanwhile, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Junkyard Joe, Volume 1. First 6 issues of that on page 70.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Team Supreme of Johns and Frank basically doing their riff on DC's G.I. Robot.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Indeed.
All right. Mikhail Thief, Copra Round 7. Pointing that one out on page 73.
Copra Cabana.
Fantastic. So glad Shane's here.
Excellent, Shane.
Somebody else going Borscht Belt, so I don't have
to. Come on, Ian. It's only for so long.
Oh, I know.
It's basically Suicide Squad.
Love it.
I want to point out, I'm sorry, and go back to Dead Romans.
Mm-hmm.
I just read the first issue of this. Really well done. The first issue, just about it has to do with the famous ambush by German tribes of Roman legions in the Teutoburg Forest. I want to say 9 AD. I forgot the exact year, but still the Emperor Augustus's reign, and this is about a Germanic woman who is like a concubine to a Roman commander, and the first issue was a really good setup, great story and art. So if you're interested in like an historical based comic. The first issue of this was very promising.
Very good. This is 4 of 6. So look at it here. So we're near the end of the miniseries.
Looking forward to discussing Deep Cuts 1 when we get that by Higgins.
Mm-hmm. I might still want to check out Giant Kokchu on issue 3 of 3 of that coming out on page 81. So that will be collected at some point in the not too distant future. All right, and scrolling down a bit more. Let's see, is it out this month? Is it out? No.
Yeah, it is.
There it is. Issue 6, page 90.
I love the copy. Uh-oh.
You really don't have to say anything anymore. New issues coming out, and whenever they do that, I worry. I worry. All right. Anything else in Image, gents?
Actually, I have a really dumb question because I've just been so at it for so long.
Yes.
Walking Dead is still going on, right? The comic?
Oh, no.
No, I think
it's over?
That ended. Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know because
Walking Dead ended about 2 years ago now, I believe.
Okay.
Like completely out of nowhere. And that's what I liked about it is, and I haven't even gotten to it yet.
That's right. I remember your reaction to that. Okay. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And I have not read up to, I'm still like maybe about, I don't know, maybe like 50 issues from being done with it. And I'll get back to it eventually. I'm just not in any rush right now. How about this? A
Creed.
Series. Yep. Looking forward to that. That's on page 104. Latoya Morgan and Jai Jameson, illustrated by Wilton Santos. 4-issue mini here. 10 years after the events of Creed 3, Amara Creed is on her own path, stepping outside her father Adonis Creed's shadow and training like there's no tomorrow. So this just picks up like, wow, like super duper after the events of that, as we get the third generation in the Rocky franchise, essentially. Nice.
Well, if you watch Creed 3, there's some moments in the story where they make it clear that she's very interested in following her father's foot, even though she's still very young. But
sure.
I didn't realize that Michael B. Jordan directed that last one.
Yeah,
yeah, he did. Yep,
it was good.
Yeah, I've yet to see it myself. I want to see it. It's just I'm actually I had Martha watch Rocky and then Rocky Balboa, and now we're going to get ourselves into the Creeds. I tried to force Rocky 2 on her, and she basically said no because.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on.
Yes.
So let's pause for a minute now, for Martha's sake. Okay. Yeah. Now I think it's indisputable. Rocky is a great film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rocky 2.
So 2, 3, and 4.
Yes,
I think have profound cultural value for different reasons.
Oh yeah,
and I think every American at least once should watch those films.
2 though is very hard to get through.
Well, 2 is it's long and it's a little slow.
Yeah.
But I think it still has value.
And then 3 is Clubber Lang, and 4 is
3 is just a riot. Like 3 is come on.
4, I have a version that I've never seen that I still want to look forward to. I bought the director's cut that Sylvester Stallone put together just about like.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's on Vudu. It's available.
Oh, okay.
Purchase them, what have you. But there's over like 45 minutes of entirely. He basically takes out portions of the movie and replaces it with portions that he liked better.
Wow.
And it makes it much more his film than what the studio was trying to do.
So Martha hasn't seen Creed at all then?
No, she has not. We're
because
soon though.
All right, because the first Creed I think is outstanding. Like I think it's a really exceptional.
I haven't seen them either yet.
Oh, the first one is. I like them all. The first one is really good.
Yeah, Creed really 2. I enjoy Creed 2 for entirely different reasons. Mostly because it is like, as much as the first Creed is a continuation of Rocky, I really like the Rocky 4 sequel that Creed 2 essentially becomes.
Oh, it sure is.
Fun fact, in Rocky 1, one of Apollo Creed's bodyguards,
I know where you're going.
Michael Dorn.
Yep, it's Michael Dorn.
I didn't know that.
Just learned that.
Yep.
Wow. He has no honor.
Yeah. It's one of his first acting gigs.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, page 104, if you want to check out the 4-issue miniseries, Gem of the Month out of Boom, do check it out. And I love the Nintendo Entertainment System. Variant cover of that is just absolutely perfect. It's a later Nintendo Entertainment System too. Like it's like near the end of its run.
Speaking of which, Super Mario Brothers is fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it most definitely is.
I would like to get to the theater for that if I have time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely stay through. There is an end credit scene.
Oh.
Yep. Stay. Again, I'm not going to get into it. People were leaving, and I thought, well, okay, that's your choice. You don't know. It's okay.
Shane, we'll definitely have more to say about that movie on the next Comic Talk because I had a lot of fun too.
Shane, I love how, on this show, the country could be falling apart, but you save your outrage for those miscreants who do not stay for the end of movies.
I'm not mad at them.
The consistency is reassuring.
I just don't understand. It's okay. Others, it's fine.
Yep. Some people are impatient, and other people had a 42-ounce soda. I mean, what?
Plan accordingly.
Important consideration. Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
Yeah.
We got some Dan Abnett action here.
Yes, we do. Wild's End on page 108, illustrated by I.N.J. Colbert. It's the critically acclaimed anthropomorphic alien invasion saga returning with a brand new story and cast. Wild's End. Always love to see more Abnett.
I do like some anthropomorphic animals.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As do I. Journey to alien-occupied interwar England, courtesy of the award-winning creative team of Dan Abnett and I.N.J. Colbert, and with Nick Abnett providing additional material. It's a family affair. All right. Moving forward. Power Rangers Unlimited, The Coinless. They just put out a 30th anniversary special of Power Rangers on Netflix like 2 days ago that I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but it brings back a whole bunch of the old Rangers.
Oh wow. And I know Hasbro just released, and they have been for a few years now, but they just released a new round of Power Rangers figures. I want to say in celebration of the original.
Oh, absolutely.
But I can't remember what the characters were that they were advertising.
Nice. Page 14 debuts the Drakon Rangers. And Adam Cesari is on the writing choice and Moises Hidalgo on the artwork on page 114. Like the designs of these Rangers, and it's been good Power Rangers comics being put out on a regular basis by Boom ever since they've gotten the license a couple years back.
Really such a juggernaut of reinventing characters every year or two.
Absolutely. Yep.
How was that movie that came out a couple years ago?
I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but I certainly believe that it deserved a second movie, but I think too many people were looking for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers rather than a reboot of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Gotcha.
It's very much a reboot. Like it's much more modern day. But I enjoyed it for the most part. I think they did a good job. All right. Damn Them All, Volume 1. Simon Spurrier and Charlie Adwards, Damn Them All, getting a collection here. It's now an ongoing series. So this is the first 6 issues of what is now a ongoing series on page 123. Big fan of Cy Spurrier and everything that he does, and Adwards on the illustrations. And that right there is a pedigree. And James Tynion IV's book 3 of Wind with a Y. WYND. Page 124. All right.
I saw the House Harkonnen book in there and just a query through my head. Anybody hear anything about the next Dune movie?
Not yet.
It's been a long while without any kind of news.
I almost forgot they didn't finish that.
Yeah.
Nope.
What was that? Was that 2 years ago that came out?
I want to say, yeah.
That's about right. Yeah.
It is slated for this year. So
Wow.
November 3rd, 2023, it will be coming out.
Okay.
And the cast will include Christopher Walken this time,
Oh,
Wow.
as well as Austin Butler and Florence Pugh.
Okay.
wow.
Interesting.
They're really increasing the stellar cast that the first movie already had, with some real stalwarts there.
I remember seeing that because it was the thick of the pandemic. I went to the theater. I think it was me and one other person was in there.
I watched it on HBO.
Yeah,
I felt I had to see that on the big screen because it's so epic in its scope.
Yep.
I did too. I just sat closer to my big screen TV.
I like how HBO Max went from being we're going to be as much HBO as possible to now being we're not even going to be HBO. We're just going to be.
Oh, man. And okay, so sidebar here. On that note,
I love Shane's sidebars.
Did my son get this correct? Where they're going to have tiers now?
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fill me in, fellas. You know,
bang
I'm
my
always at it.
head.
So there's going to be an ad supported tier. There's going to be a
For HBO?
yes,
Yes.
no. Specifically
For Max.
Specifically for Max. If you have HBO on cable, then it's just
Oh,
going to.
I have Max. So
yeah. So if you have Max, you have options between a ad supported tier, which is completely the opposite of what HBO has always been.
Yep.
There's a an adless tier, and then you have to pay extra for 4K.
Oh,
So-
that I don't care about.
Well,
so
yeah.
the Max that we have now, that's being done away with in a sense.
It's converting. Instead of being HBO Max, it'll be the Max or Max.
Yeah, just
Wait, so
Max, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
taking HBO out of the name.
Yeah.
That's one of the most recognizable, iconic brands in entertainment.
It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah.
you can thank Discovery, who are
I
now
was just going to say that.
exactly because Discovery was like, yeah, you know what, we're going to merge everything together, and we're even going to bring the Discovery stuff over, and it'll be great. Oh, by the way, on second thought, we're going to keep Discovery Plus as its own separate thing, but we're still going to merge them. Like, what?
I think we need a Deemer rant right now.
And this is the Max.
Yeah,
That's silly.
the current plans are as follows. I'll just go through them real quick because I have it.
Thank you.
Yeah, with ads for $10 a month and ad free at $16 a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Both plans stream in HD with some 4K content, and you can stream on up to 3 devices simultaneously. The ad-free version comes with 30 downloads and the ability to watch if you're traveling to a country where HBO Max is available. Yada yada yada. So that's what's coming soon. But Ultimate is entirely 4K. I'm really annoyed. $20 for that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I have no idea where people who have HBO are going to fall in this, because that's how I watch HBO Max. There's an HBO subscription, so I don't know which plan that's even going to put me on. But
Yeah, me too.
I'll find out in May. Yeah, but it did get me to remember Max Power from The Simpsons pretty easily.
If you're not watching at home, you can start to see the veins throbbing in Shane's forehead at this point.
Just thinking that's grody to the max.
There's baloney
There's baloney in our slacks. In stereo, no less.
Beautiful.
Totally insane.
Page 129. We got Giant Days Library Edition. So any of you fans of Giant Days out there, you get a nice giant way of enjoying it. I'm a huge Giant Days fan. And this is the first of 7 deluxe durable hardcovers collecting the complete Eisner Award winning series.
And only 256 pages.
Yes, indeed. How about them apples? All right. Onward to Dynamite real quick. You know what? Screw it. DC.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. Is that a David?
Dynamite
Wait, hold on.
Dynamite.
I'm sorry.
Nope. We're switching. It's already gone.
Is that a David Walker issue?
That is a David Walker.
All right, well, David Walker writing anything deserves just a moment of recognition.
And we'll get to his victory later on. Right after DC, I promise it'll be there.
I feel so much better. You did the Borscht Belt. Thank you.
By all means. Dawn of DC continues, and we get to issue 800s of some of DC's finest in this very catalog.
I do love a good anniversary issue.
As do I, my friend. As do I. But we begin the catalog with Batman 136. Zdarsky and Belen Ortega. Failsafe and Red Mask have forever changed Batman, and Gotham isn't as welcoming as it once was. Can Batman remind them who he is? Can he remind Catwoman? The future of the Bat book starts here, and Chip Zdarsky is telling the tale.
I miss Alfred.
Me too. I'm sure he'll be back eventually.
Yeah.
And then
Tom King writing the Penguin. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And look who's writing the Penguin #0.
Yeah, which is collecting a Penguin backup story from Batman number 125, 126, and 127.
Yep. So it's not new material. So anybody who did read the issues, this is the backup that I was praising in my best of conversation about Batman, which is after the events of Zdarsky's first arc. Catwoman is then on the chase to try to find the Cobblepot family, and we get to see what happens in all of that. And then Tom King will pick it up with the Penguin #1, and revenge is for the birds. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. Artwork by Stefano Gaudiano, and that would be his art on the main cover there, which doesn't look anything like Oswald Cobblepot at all to me. If I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to go for the Brian Boland variant cover. That's the Ozzy I know.
That looks more like Michael Caine.
It does. Yeah. Has Alfie been in yet? You know? There he is, and yeah.
Yep.
I have my misgivings about all of this, frankly, as a Penguin purist. You know, I've seen the preview that they've released for the Colin Farrell starred Penguin miniseries to be released on Max, and yeah, they're trying to turn the Penguin into a Scorsesean figure, and it doesn't really work for me.
I didn't watch the trailer yet.
I saw the trailer. I liked what I saw for the most part, but I can understand your misgivings, Murd, and I'm waiting to see just how mob bossy they make him. And whether or not there's also at least a little bit of class and grace thrown in there for good measure.
All I'm seeing is mob bossiness here, Ian.
I know.
Yeah, not a trick umbrella in sight.
Oh, you need the trick umbrellas. Even Danny DeVito had a couple trick umbrellas.
Yes, he did.
Well, Paige...
And he was eating fish.
Yeah.
That's the gross part.
Occasionally biting people's noses off, you know.
That's the grosser part.
Yeah, that is definitely the grosser part. But still, I would take that take on the Penguin over just generic mafioso. Penguin.
Yeah, I always, and I know I said this years ago on the show. I always thought of the Penguin as a Fifth Avenue high class, rich kind of thief that just did it because he enjoyed it, not necessarily because he needed it. But he was always dressed to the nines and just maniacal.
Yep,
with a monocle.
Yeah. Well,
I agree with your position there, Shane. That's pretty much what the Penguin is to me.
Yeah.
There was a lot that I enjoyed about the Batman movie, and I hope that it's anywhere near the level of good that I saw in this Penguin series. But I obviously remains to be seen. All right. Page 4, Batman Brave and the Bold, issue 2. Continues Tom King and Mitch Gerads' tale of Batman and the Joker's first meeting. And
I like that cover.
Yeah, it looks great.
That looks like a good old vintage classic cover.
You better believe it. And some very Batman the Animated Series chess pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
The Batgirl. And on the very next page is Poison Ivy issue 13. As it looks like Harley and Ivy are making up again. G. Willow Wilson and Marcio Takara continue their very well-received series, and I've enjoyed what I've read so far.
What a great cover. Wow.
Who's in the front left corner of that cover?
I saw that too.
Is that Lagoon Boy or something crazy?
Good question.
I'm trying to blow it up, and it could be anybody, but
yeah, there's a couple of them rising.
There's another head coming out of the water near the title of the boat.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're right. There it is.
Probably some kind of plant-based homunculi from the marine.
Although my favorite part of the entire solicitation is it's the dawn of a new day as Pamela Isley makes her return to Harley and Gotham City with a lovesick Janet from HR in tow. Okay. I can't wait for Janet from HR to be my best new villain of the year.
Right.
Yeah, notice that the boat they're spooning in is called the Amanita. Just for the record, I believe that's a genus of psychotropic mushroom.
Okay. Oh, Murd, fantastic.
Yeah. And speaking of best of nominations, I think on page, what page is that? 6, we've got a classic in the making here.
We sure do.
Oh my God, yes. All from the bird's eye perspective.
Wow.
I cannot wait to read this
Nightwing 105.
Man.
Taylor and Redondo.
Visual draftsmanship is going to be on full display there as we get a whole issue seen through the eyes of the main character, Nightwing. It's going to be...
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to make several people's best single issue of the year.
Oh, no question about it. No question about it. Yep.
Wow.
How about page 7 and that cover there for the joke?
That's creepy.
That's a very bad Santa.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Best-selling variant covers featuring the Joker in a standalone comic book. Page 7. All right.
I mentioned this earlier, but the first issue of the new Superman series was excellent.
It was. Yep.
But just funny again, going back to Old Man on the Lawn, because I didn't order issue 2, so I went to my local comic shop and picked it up, and I didn't realize now that comics are $5.
Oh, well, indeed.
They aren't at all. That's
but
the main reason why I'm not buying this Superman series, Chris.
Wow. I mean, I realize $5 isn't what it used to be, but
well, DC's doing the same thing they did initially to warrant when they would have a $3.99 book, and that is having the backups as part of it to try and be like, oh, hey, it's $5, but you get all this extra material.
You get extra stuff we don't really care about sometimes.
For the most part, these backups have actually been stellar.
And I'm glad that they are this time around versus days gone by.
Yeah, I still hated that Manhunter had to be relegated to a backup back in the day. You know, I was just a fan of Manhunter and would have read a Manhunter comic on its own, which we did eventually get, and then canceled again. But you know, that's
it's just fascinating that I think about. I mean, Shane and I are around the same age. I mean, when we started this passion,
60 cents,
and where it is now. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess. I don't even know how many people are buying these paper books anymore, but
well, for me, I still do get some floppies, but I am just as happy to have a DC app and a Marvel app, and I'm more than willing to spend the money for the app to be able to read whatever I want without spending $5 a book at this stage of my life.
And I do, and it's this great thing called the DC Universe app.
Yep.
And that's what I'm sticking to, and that's my way out of it at this point.
There's still some things that I still like to get in a floppy, and if they ever come out with a Justice League again, I'll get that. But I'm just as happy to have the app for a lot of these titles right now.
There's never going to be a Justice League again, Shane.
It's possible. Hey, it's possible. Anything goes. Who knows?
Meanwhile, how about the return of Silver Banshee on page 8 for that Superman book?
It's a great cover.
Oh, terrific cover. Yep. And then on the very next page, we get that female Metallo action going on. Tracy Corbin's Life is in the Balance on page 9 for Action Comics 1056 by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And
I'm sorry. All I see is Borg Queen at the moment.
You're not wrong. Yeah. With a little bit of Matrix thrown in for good measure.
Yeah.
See, that one is $4.99 for 48 pages of content. So I have actually been picking up Action Comics, but Superman I've had to give a pass.
Yeah.
I read the first issue of John Kent by Tom Taylor. Excellent.
I have not gotten to it yet, but it's about to be read, and I cannot wait for it. But look at the cover for that Superboy Man of Tomorrow #3.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fine.
And look at that variant.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto, the super dog.
Rough and away.
He's a superhero.
Is that from his cartoon?
Oh yeah, yeah. Which was
I never
great.
I never watched it. Okay.
Oh, such a fun cartoon.
I've still yet to watch the Super Pets movie. I'll have to get around.
I haven't watched that yet either.
Yeah. Steelworks #1.
Shane, look at the writer.
Yeah, written by some guy who was in the original Rocky movie, I hear.
Get the heck out.
Indeed. He had
Look at that.
time. Yep. Michael Dorn writing Steel.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep. And wasn't he the voice of Steel?
That's what it says.
Yep.
Yes.
That's exactly why they pursued him for this.
Excellent. Well, he's had a terrific turn on Picard this season.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh my God. Doing a whole bunch of stuff that he always wanted to do with the character in one form or another. I know he had pitched a Worf series at one point that never
Captain Worf. Yep.
I love that Michael Dorn has been the most appeared Star Trek character in history.
Yep. I really like the redesign. Like even though Steel, I mean, it still basically looks like Steel, but the subtle redesign and slimming and streamlining of the outfit is great. Natasha's costume looks superb. I'm in for this. Artwork by Sami Basri as well. I want to see what Michael Dorn can do with the Steelworks on page 12.
And it's a miniseries, so I will read it on the app, but I will buy a trade of it.
There you go.
That's cool.
And
2 books we'll be talking about: Shazam and Green Lantern.
Better believe it. Shazam by Mark Waid, Green Lantern by Jeremy Adams. Hype for that Shazam series is looking mighty good.
Yeah.
I read issue 1, but cannot wait for it to be released and in my iPad.
I gotta say, this month, above most of the more recent months, these covers this month are outrageously well done.
They're great. Yeah, they really are. Look at the draftsmanship on that Green Arrow cover.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep. With a new character alert as we get Peace Wrecker. There's a Peacemaker and there's a Peace Wrecker.
I'm sorry, that's going to get a little womp from me right now.
I know. Well, it's Joshua Williamson, it's Sean Isaacs, so hopefully the comic itself will make us want a little bit less than the name of it.
Yeah.
Also, good hype for the new Doom Patrol series. So far, I'll have to read issue 1 of that one, Unstoppable Doom Patrol issue 4 here on page 17.
Mm-hmm.
Print getting smaller.
Shane's eyes getting older.
Shane getting older, even with new glasses.
I'm expanding it. I have to expand it.
And I'm looking off to the side on my screen where I have it up too, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, oh my God, it's getting smaller.
Whole bunch of already ongoings. Titans issue 2.
Another book we'll be discussing when issue 1 comes out for sure.
Yep.
A Titan is murdered. We have to find out who was murdered. Hopefully, it's nobody that we like.
It's not Nightwing.
Yeah, no, Dan DiDio's not with the company anymore, so he can't get me.
Right.
The target is off his back.
Yep. Yeah. And page 22 brings us the first of the 800th issues as Jeremy Adams, Mark Waid, Josh Williamson, Jeff Johns, and Cy Spurrier bring us Flash 800.
Wow.
By Fernando Passarin, Claire Albert, Todd Nauck, Carmine Gian Domenico, Scott Collins, and Mike Diodato Jr.
Nice.
Yep.
So some classic past Flash creative teams and also the incoming team.
Yep.
The baton is passed in the ongoing race.
Yeah.
Lots of nice covers there too.
As of now, once again, stating that Wally West will remain the Flash, at least for the beginning portion of Cy Spurrier's run. So I hope that does indeed continue. Wonder Woman 800, Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and Tom King.
Wow.
By Joelle Jones, Todd Nauck, Daniel Sampier, and others. Todd Nauck drawing parts of both 800th issues. How about that?
And this is a jumping off point for the new Tom King,
Yeah.
Daniel Sampere run.
Mm-hmm.
Really like that main cover for the Wonder Woman book too, with the doves in the clouds. That's awesome.
She gets her whatever happened to concluding here. Whatever happened to the Warrior of Truth.
I love the Michael Allred swimsuit variant cover.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
By the way, I just got Superman Space Age #3. What a tremendous miniseries.
I have to track that down.
Wow. Holy mackerel. God. Save that for the next comic talk, but woof.
The Piccolo wraparound variant cover for the DC Pride is just great. Love that. With the basically looks like a locker.
Yeah.
Yep. Page 26 gives you the full solicitation for the DC Pride special. Mr. Cantwell involved with this one.
I love that classic cover too.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then DC.
Yeah, that one.
Wow.
The 80s
Wow.
DC Pride through the years one. Wow.
Whew. Greg Rucka, William Messner Loebs, Steve Orlando, Vita Ayala, and Tim Sheridan all involved with that on page 29, including the Flash number 53, where Pied Piper comes out, Detective Comics 854, the thrilling beginning of Batwoman's first solo series, and Supergirl number 19, which tells us the story of Lee Serrano, non-binary teenager who befriends the Girl of Steel. And an all-new Alan Scott story while we're at it. Look at that cover for Peacemaker Tries Hard.
It's a really long gun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Come on, man. It's got Monsieur Malat. My favorite militant ape.
Yeah, very few simians can pull off a beret as well as Malat.
Yeah, very true.
Static Team Up, Anansi, number 1 on page 36. And we'll get that Icon versus Hardware cover there, the variant.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, going old school Action Comics. Meanwhile, Lazarus Planet is collected in full on page 37, and volume 2 of Monkey Prince by Jean Lin Yang available for you. The Monkey King and I. Love that title. Volume 2, The Batman of Gotham on page 38 of Zdarsky's run. And Detective Comics volume 1, Gotham Nocturne Overture on page 39.
Get ready for Blue Beetle. Get ready.
Yep. Saw the trailer. Looked really good.
Yeah. I was very pleased. There's almost towards the end of the trailer an awesome view of multiple Blue Beetle costumes. Oh,
when is that premiering?
June, July.
So one of the many summer films Ian was addressing before.
I think. Gosh, I don't remember what the date was.
Let's see. That is set for release on August 18th.
August. Oh God, that's so far away.
So Flash is June. Blue Beetle is August.
It's an eye blink, my friend.
Yep. But
Lord knows we don't want life to move along that fast.
Graduation Day has been getting great praise, and I definitely need to check it out.
Yeah, I have it. I didn't start reading it yet, but I did get it.
Nice. And now here we are to my favorite solicitations in all of Preview Land.
The really itty bitty writings.
You need a freaking magnifying glass. Superman Lost issue 4 on page 45 for you Priest fans. But on that same page, Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 9. Always need to point this one out.
Oh, yeah.
Crystal Cove is proud of their tenacious teens and wants to be able to call upon Mystery Inc. at a moment's notice, so they get their own Scooby signal.
Art and cover by Scott Geralds, who was the director of the Crypto the Superdog cartoon show.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice Stargirl cover on JSA number 7-2, even though that's the variant.
Yeah, Yannick Paquette drew that one. Looking good. All right.
I swear they're just trying to make me do an eye chart here. Holy crap.
They are. They absolutely are. I agree with you entirely.
Wow.
Let's see. Anything else? Not really.
No.
Pretty light DC solicitations this month, unfortunately. Meanwhile, we get back to Dynamite, and previously on Diamond Preview.
It's been how many years that Dynamite has been in existence, and I still cannot think of anything except JJ from Good Times. Jimmy Walker?
Yeah, Jimmy Walker.
JJ?
Yeah. Dynamite.
I had trading cards of Good Times, by the way, when I was growing up.
Good show.
Happy Days, Good Times, Mork and Mindy, all bubblegum cards.
70s television?
Oh, it's awesome.
Years of Vampirella, gentlemen. Wow.
Victory. Oh, yeah. She came out, was it 1960? Oh, wow. Boy.
63 then.
Yeah.
Yep. David F. Walker, as you said, gets to launch this Victory series from the pages of Vampirella with Brett Weldell on the artwork chart.
Outstanding writer.
I think it's Weldeley. He's back in the old days. I think he actually made a couple appearances on the podcast.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. In fact, now I will have to look that up myself.
Please do. To make sure I'm not imagining this.
I think it does sound like a familiar name, honestly. Let's see. Brett. You know what? I'll just put the word Brett in and see what comes up as I do the searchy.
Brett Maverick.
Shane, as a total aside, I just found out that my local theater is playing Flash Gordon on May 1st.
Oh, I just listened to that today. I wanted to listen to a movie that had a good soundtrack, and that's the one I chose, and it was fantastic to listen to.
You're not imagining things, Murd. Off the Rack episode 824 of CGS from 2010. Nate Edmondson was on that episode as well, along with Brett, to discuss their book Light from Image Comics.
All right, good.
Very cool.
Murd's memory is indomitable.
And he also was on to talk about surrogates back in 2009. So yes, he's been on CGS many a time.
Good to know I can still trust my brain once in a while.
Well, it's nice to see somebody who has been in the podcast get to enjoy a Vampirella spin-off book.
Indubitably.
Mm-hmm. Betty Page #1 on page 139. We were all waiting for it, right? It's here. Betty Page. Eh? All right.
Cheap.
What a great Schiller you are. Wow.
I mean, it's Betty Page. I mean, come on. Let's go further down here in the solicitations. Been waiting for is here at last. Demona returns in an all-new arc by the one and only Greg Weisman. Gargoyles issue 7 brings Demona back.
God, I gotta get back to watching that show again.
Yep. Page 151 for that issue 7. My question is whether or not this is a Demona that's been to Atlantis or not, because that is a very famous unreleased episode. Because originally the Atlantis straight to DVD movie was going to be a series, and Demona was going to show up in that series.
Really?
Basically linking the universes of Gargoyles and Atlantis.
Huh.
And the I think the voice track may actually exist out there somewhere, and the storyboards, but they never actually animated the episode.
Wow.
And it's been performed at a couple of cons a couple times as well. So
now, when you say Atlantis, do you mean as in the animated feature film Atlantis with Michael J. Fox and Father Guido Sarducci?
The very same.
Wow.
By the time the animated series would have come around, Michael J. Fox would have no longer been, voicing the titular character. But it was very much slated to happen until Atlantis very much underperformed at the box office, and then suddenly they pivoted to straight to DVD movie rather than animated series. 151, Demona is indeed back. And look at that variant cover there on 152. That is awesome. All right, and Maleficent issue 2 as well on page 155, continuing a very Maleficent story than what came out in the Angelina Jolie version.
Yes, and it looks, to this observer at least, a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm. As does this Scar series, for that matter. It continues on page 159 with issue 3.
Matata.
What a wonderful
phrase.
The covers to Darkwing Duck just continue to fill me with joy.
Yeah. I just can't figure out why these are not cartoons yet.
I know. You would think that, with all the material that Disney Plus is putting out, that they would have just bring back the Disney afternoon essentially.
And I know we had a new DuckTales, which was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
and we had the Chip and Dale movie, which was kind of teasing.
Still didn't watch that.
Stuff, including Darkwing Duck. I mean, he closed the movie out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
and mind you,
that's what we want, Disney.
Yeah. And that DuckTales reboot had Darkwing Duck in it, and it even had some Tailspin for that matter. So because there was some Cape Suzette action going on in that.
The gummy bears even showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that we all can share.
At least the artwork very much keeps Darkwing alive here.
Very much so.
What I would expect from the animated version of it.
Darkwing Duck.
When there's trouble, you call DW.
He is the terror that flaps in the night. He is the tab on your soda that you can't quite open.
Dun, 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 dun.
007 action continuing.
That series is again.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamite knocking out of the park with 007 stuff.
Indeed.
Quite a few years now they've had the license. Now I think.
Yeah, that's been quite a few years.
All right, and that is it for Dynamite, and we head over to Marvel. And what a month for Marvel. I cannot wait. Stop it with this. Just stop.
At least put this Mickey Mouse's Iron Man cover on an issue of Iron Man.
Thank you.
Why is it on Amazing Spider-Man number 27?
It makes no sense.
Borderline false advertising. I mean,
it's not even borderline, Murd. It's false advertising.
I love the wrath of Murd.
I'm Mickey Mouse's Iron Man on Spider-Man.
All right, Hickman and Hitch doing Ultimate Invasion.
Yes, this is. When I heard this was announced, two things came to mind. One, I honest to God never saw this one coming at all. Even as like an anniversary thing or whatever, I figured the Ultimate Universe was long behind us.
Yeah.
And now one of the main architects of the Ultimate Universe, Brian Hitch, as well as one of the best writers of the Ultimate Universe, Jonathan Hickman, because his Ultimate Avengers then essentially became the drawing board for what then became his Avengers. He did a terrific job on that book before he left it. And now he comes back to the Ultimate Universe with Hitch in tow for a 4-issue miniseries. I have no idea where this is going, but I am there for each and every issue. This is going to be great. Transformation of the Marvel Universe begins here. We have no idea what that means, but
I my faith is in the creative team. So
yeah.
One thing
worlds will no, that's the wrong one.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm hoping though is that this doesn't put Miles back into an Ultimate Universe siloed away from the main Marvel, because I think he's doing just fine where he is.
I can't imagine them doing that with the movie coming out and all that, the animated movie. I mean, I know it's a separate thing, but
yeah. I mean, hey, you never know. You never know.
On that cover there, is that Cyclops in the front?
No, that's not.
Ultimate Reed Richards, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. God, what was his?
He was a ne'er-do-well, isn't he?
Yes.
The Maker.
Yeah.
I think it mentions him in the copy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my failing eyes can't read that.
And then Professor Xavier essentially stole his look.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what I was like.
Yep. Oh wow! Look at that Maker cover, harkening back to Ultimate's #1 there.
Yep.
Ultimate Invasion. Oh, the artwork, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Oh, beautiful. Yep. Absolutely beautiful. And a new
Hulk #1.
Yep. A brand new era of Hulk begins. Philip Kennedy Johnson on the writing chores, Nick Klein on the artwork, as the Age of Monsters has begun for the Incredible Hulk. They're not the first one to try to bring the horror back into Incredible Hulk, but this looks like a very, very different take on it than what we've gotten in the past few years. As an enraged Hulk tries to take control of Bruce Banner's personality, a mysterious immortal turns every monster in the Marvel Universe against Banner in an attempt to free their creator, the primordial mother of horrors. Interesting concept.
Well, I mean, considering what Al Ewing accomplished in his, I think, already legendary run, which very much really explored the depths of the Hulk as a horror concept, which goes back to his origins.
Oh yeah,
definitely interested to see how they're going to handle it here.
Okay, I don't want to sound stupid, but I just want to ask, what is a Virgin variant cover by George Perez?
Well, it's a cover without any words on it.
Okay.
It's just no logos or UPC boxes or anything like that.
And a hidden gem variant cover by the late great Herb Trimpe, one of the all-time great Hulk artists.
Look at the artwork on this.
Yep.
That's something else. Part of me almost wishes they would just keep it black and white.
Well, wasn't there a run of Hulk in some magazine that was black and white?
That was the Rampaging
Hulk. Yeah.
Yep. That was when Marvel was doing black and white magazines.
Yep.
I think Moon Knight appeared in some of those issues. Now that I think.
Yeah, Moon Knight did too. Yeah,
absolutely.
I do remember Moon Knight.
I think my one qualm with this is that it harkens back to Hulk's 90s hair.
Right. That's Heroes Reborn Hulk hair. Not a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that masthead.
Yep. Black Panther #1, A King Without a Crown. Page 9, Eve Ewing with Chris Allen on the artwork. Banished from the throne and a fugitive in his own homeland, T'Challa can't leave Wakanda without its sworn protector. King Without a Crown.
All right, I must have to give this a try.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Look at that variant there by M.R. Garcine.
It's selling all the storied history of the character.
Mm-hmm. And I like the design variant. It gives you a up close and personal look at what the updated costume is going to look like.
Look at that Steve Rude variant.
Ooh, yeah. Yep. Oh my God! And the interior is blowing me away.
And there's a Howard the Duck variant by Sanford Green. Because fantastic.
Because why not?
Well, every book benefits from Howard's appearance. Come on.
Howard the Duck.
Loki #1.
What say we about Loki #1 by Dan Waters with Jermaine Peralta? Loki saves the Marvel Universe.
Keep scrolling down. I like the next cover.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that's good.
Sure is.
That's nice and old school right there. Plus, if you want a short-eared Loki, you can go with this cover. If you want a long-eared Loki, cover. You know, a little bit of everything thrown in there.
Yeah, you want to topple over and break your neck? Go with the long ear.
Yeah, it looks like the main cover and the Rod Reis variant. Well, the Rod Reis one in particular has lots of different Lokis, including the alligator one.
Yeah.
And the main cover's got both long-horned and short-horned Loki, if you look carefully.
Yep. Frank Miller did the longhorn one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of my favorite Miller images in a while, actually. I do like that.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, good to see Loki back out there. And 50 issues and the final issue of Kelly Thompson's historic run on Captain Marvel ends here on page 14. As we'll see who takes over the book from here. But Kelly Thompson says farewell to Carol Danvers and her cat. Her tentacle cat. Oh, my God.
I should show Carlene that she does not like cats.
Contest of Chaos.
Steve Orlando, Carlos Nieto, Scar Witch Annual starts
That's a beautiful cover by Russell Dauterman. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's rejuvenated Agatha Harkness in the background there.
Boy, she looks a lot different.
Catherine Heigold up there.
Yeah. Not the elderly lady we know from the early appearances.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be like ground floor on this Avengers run. Just looking at the artwork and the solicitation here. The Avengers find themselves a rare gift, foreknowledge of the dangers coming their way in the form of the deadly tribulation events. But can this information be trusted? And can even Earth's mightiest heroes triumph in the face of cascading disaster? We'll find out. Page 18 there. Oh, wow. Look at that Doc Ock cover.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yep. Page 20.
Grief looms over Peter after last issue's shocking death.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yeah, I got to catch myself up. Haven't even read the Hobgoblin stuff yet, so I gotta.
Good.
Amazing 27. Zeb Wells and Ed McGuinness on the art.
My oldest is reading this series in trade format, and he is loving it.
Nice. Yeah, the new and improved Doc Ock. He's been new and improved many times over the years.
He's still not working out though.
I was just gonna say, at least this one's still pudgy.
Shane, to commiserate with your eyes, I thought it said bladder blood for a second. I was like, all right, well, which kind of made sense with Deadpool anyway. But
the important words are actually below the title. If you just
Rob Liefeld, Deadpool, Wolverine, Cable. It doesn't get bladder than this. I mean,
I gotta pee.
Sadly, I do have to actually go soon for a pee break. I'll wait till we're done with Marvel.
Oh, we're definitely old.
Well, hey, there's at least one. No, never mind. It's strategic. You can't see feet. Never mind. Okay. I thought you may. Oh, no, here we go. There's a foot on the cover. Page 23. Not bad.
No, talk about.
Yep.
Shane, you got to get these facsimiles. Oh,
now
look at that.
I'll tell you what. So years ago, one of my coworkers from a previous job had a box of comics from his uncle. He asked me to look at them, and these 2 issues were in it.
You mentioned that you bought them from him, right?
I bought them from him. They're very beat up. I think the cover's falling off of one of them, but I have them because I just thought it was too cool.
Well, the facsimiles are great because you get the ads. They're just a wonderful time capsule.
Both DC and Marvel's facsimiles are fantastic right now.
Yep. And this is.
I mean, I know we've had Milestones and Millennium editions and all kinds of reprints, and that's fine. They were great, but these facsimiles.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pick these up just for the fun of it.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I appreciate that it's both issues. That's 121.
Yeah, you got to have both. Yeah. My God.
Yep. And I'm glad they didn't put them together. I'm glad they didn't release one now and one later. They're boom, right there they are.
All there on page 24 for you to check out. All right. A little bit further on here. Oh, man. Look at that cover for Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, issue 2. Damn.
That's Howard Mackie writing that, is returning to his creation.
Yes, indeed. Marvel continuing the lost stories or in-between stories, bringing the writers back to fill in the tales. There and Brock again.
Venom 20.
For 2 seconds, I thought that was Thunderstrike.
I did too.
Yeah, the coat. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep, it was the beard and the coat.
Yeah, why not? And Venom number 21 on page 33. Not your father's Bedlam.
Yeah, that looks weird.
How many arms can you put on a villain? As many as you need.
Coffey was the artist who worked on Cantwell's classic Iron Man run, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, excellent artist. Yeah.
Oh man, and that cover there for Silk issue 2. Put that on a poster and have that.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Bum 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 bum.
Electro.
Electro showing up in issue 37 of Spider-Man. You could tell we've caught up a little bit to the main book as he's wearing his goblin costume there.
Slott and Bagley.
Mm-hmm. And this is something super cool. Spider-Man India, number 1 of 4. This is a book that is coming back after quite some time.
It says in almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember when this initially came out. It was a really cool concept and an alternate universe take on Spider-Man. And now they're bringing a character back here with Nikesh Shukla on the writing chores. 4-issue miniseries for Spider-Man India. Good stuff. I'll have to check that one out. Page 38. Sons of Art. Marvel Comics Marvel Tales number 1. Written by some schlubs Stan Lee and Larry Lieber. Never heard of it. Doom and Venom, for that matter, on page
David
4.
Michelini writing.
Mm-hmm. And Marvel has their Pride issue as well.
I can just see whenever Doom does premiere in the movies, we might be fortunate enough to see whatever movie it is all together, and all you hear is Chris in the silence going, Doom.
Or Richards.
Yeah.
Man, the casting is going to be so vital for that character.
Oh,
yeah.
They got to get a really great actor.
Can't wait. Doom. All right. Marvel voices Pride. The disco cover, absolutely love it.
Disco Duck. Oh, wait. Wrong one.
Yeah, wrong one. Sorry. But so many different great characters included in this Pride one shot here. New and established characters alike.
It's fascinating how Gwen Stacy has gotten a whole new lease on life as the Spider-Gwen character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can't wait for that movie to be coming out.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yep.
Is that going to be animated or live action?
Well, no. I mean the
Spider-Verse.
The Spider-Verse.
Okay, yeah. Me too. Yep.
And am I right in thinking that? Oh God, what's his name? The guy who plays Poe Dameron is
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac is the main.
That's Spider-Man 2099. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought I heard.
He's doing the voice of Miguel.
Yes. He voiced him at the end of the last movie as well.
One of the best actors of our time.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I mean, it was only that tiny scene there, Shane, but it was like at the end of the movie. Yep. Al Ewing, X-Men Before the Fall, Heralds of Apocalypse. The origin of Arakko begins here. And then Steve Orlando writing Before the Fall, Mutant First Strike. Both of them available on page 44. Ewing's been doing a great job of writing X-Men stuff over the past couple of years.
And the Sentient Storm. I missed that last month, I think.
Yep. Yeah, second issue of that coming out. And Bishop War College issue 5 on page 46.
This is a series you've been praising, right? In X-Men Red, which I've yet to read.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Correct? This is one you've been praising. Yep.
Very much so. Yep. Al Ewing's X-Men of Mars, essentially. Plus, you get some great run-ins there with Nova and a bunch of other characters for good measure. He's been writing some good Magneto in it, too. Good stuff. The Excellent is one issue away from being concluded here on page 50. And it looks like it's going to be Milligan and Allred's swan song with the Ecstatic Screw.
Okay.
Dupe. Wasn't there a Wolverine and Dupe miniseries at one point?
Yes,
There
there
sure
was.
was.
By Darwin Cook.
That's right.
Yep.
I like the looks of this cover.
Oh my God, yes. X-Men 23. That Iron Man Sentinel. I worry. I very much. Although I like that because it's a Sentinel, they can get away with having like the 90s neck, like the heroes were born.
Yeah.
And neck.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all on page 52 and then 53. Speaking of Iron Man, great cover there for Invincible Iron Man number 7.
was very excited. Speaking of Iron Man, that in my LCS they're having a big half off sale of like older trades, and this I'd lost this in the flood. They had the first like hardcover collection of Fraction's classic Iron Man run.
Nice,
which is one of the best Iron Man periods of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
Read. Wow. Page 57. Meet Wong, agent of Wand. I can't wait to find out what Wand stands for.
A book I think we should all read and discuss one day is Doctor Strange: The Oath.
Oh yes,
which is a great Wong. Has great Wong stuff in it.
I don't think I ever read that one.
Oh, Shane, great Night Nurse stuff too. It's Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, I feel like we already have done that, Chris.
Have we? All right.
I feel like we may have. Let's see.
My memory is just.
If I put the words, I mean, it's not like the show hasn't been on for
18 years,
18 years yeah.
Almost 2,000 numbered episodes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if putting in Doctor Strange: The Oath doesn't come up any episodes, actually.
Maybe we just talked about it a lot and just haven't done it.
Okay.
It's definitely come up on previous comic talks and what have you, but I don't think we've done a formal book of the month on
Okay. File that away.
Yep. Great cover there for Fantastic Four #8 on page 59. Anytime Alex Ross draws the FF, it's good.
She-Hulk. I'm looking forward to the second trade.
Mm-hmm. Page 60, issue 14.
God, I enjoyed that first trading, and thanks for the tip.
My pleasure. Secret History of the Scoundrel revealed. Coolest new villain of 2023. But will he be the best of 2023? Find out next year.
Good heavens, I'm out of it with Marvel seeing Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Predator,
Dave Wachter's on that.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, Planet of the Apes, David F. Walker and Dave Wachter continuing with issue 3 on page 67.
I missed that the last 2 months looking at Marvel previews.
Basically, they lost when they lost Conan the Barbarian. They were like, "What else can we get?" And they're like, "Planet of the Apes is available. Done."
Oh, Marvel was the first one to have that license too, back in the 70s.
Snatched it right out from under DC's noses.
Yep. Adventures of the Planet of the Apes, and they were not allowed to draw Charlton Heston's face, so it was a generic, white guy.
All right. Anything before trades, gents?
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm good.
All right, I'm going to go to trades. Incredible Hulk by Byrne and Casey.
I remember that period. Yep.
Yeah, wow. I haven't thought about this period in quite some time, actually. This is 1999 era, thereabouts. John Byrne, Eric Larson, Ordway, all on sale November 2023.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Daredevil Yellow Gallery Edition. I have my Spider-Man Blue Gallery Edition on order, by the way.
Nice.
These are beautiful books.
Indeed.
The bigger you can make Tim Sale's artwork, the better.
Yep.
Page 79 for that.
I love my absolute editions of Loeb and Sales.
Wait, hold on.
Batman stuff.
Let's go back. Go back to the two omnibuses. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, the Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, with Chris Samnee, I believe, was the main artist. Is for me, if you love that character, it incorporates the fun tone of the Silver Age, but also the weight of Daredevil's history. They are great Daredevil stories. Definitely. I can't recommend them enough. And the Ed Brubaker Winter Soldier stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
With the Black Widow, I mean, classics. Highest recommendation.
Absolutely.
Especially if you love those characters from the films, you definitely should read these stories.
Mind you, that also includes works by Mark Andreyko and James Asmus, along with Fun thrown in there for good measure. And Somni on the artwork for that as well.
And then we have, of course, for me, one of the greatest finite comic book series of all time, yet again, Volume 2 of the Christopher Priest Black Panther in omnibus form.
Indeed. 2 different covers for you to choose from. Chris is going to buy both. No,
I already have my Dan and Ryan years ago gave me one of the best prints I've ever received. They got bound editions, 2 volumes of the entire series.
They got you all the original art from everything, and they bound it together in one big book.
Now, how about this, gents? Page 82. New Warriors Classic Omnibus Volume 3. They got to the Scarlet Spider era of the New Warriors.
Love that Scarlet Spider costume.
Man, Firestar's 90s outfit is just...
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Why on earth did this need to be in a hardcover?
Because
they had extra hardcovers lying around, and they're like,
"Come on, Shane! It's almost 1,000 pages. You know you want to order it."
There's not a chance.
And at least 999 of them are just the muscles on Speedball.
God, I have some step stools that aren't that tall.
These are all in your local bargains bins, folks.
Oh, absolutely. But like
what's this? $175, $125 or $175?
$125.
Okay.
Scarlet Spider's outfit looks great. Everybody else doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most care was taken into posing him, clearly. And then the Lobdell era of Excalibur is also included here, along with Dezago, Ellis, Nicieza, Ostrander, and more. This was a very transfer period for like they were just getting into the Ellis era, and there's some fun stuff there, but there's also some very forgettable stuff. So again, dollar bins, you could very easily find that.
Yeah.
Page 83. X-Men 2099 hardcover, page 85.
I never read that series. Was it worth it or?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was an Image Comics book.
Yeah.
Murd's given the motion with his hand.
Yeah, characters.
Doom 2099, Spider-Man 2099,
Metalhead, Bloodhawk, Skullfire. You know, it's just Ian summarized it perfectly.
Yeah.
They even look like the non-union equivalent of the. Like, we can't get the X-Men. Let's get the double X-Men.
Yeah, no.
Tomb of Dracula Volume 3 Marvel Masterworks. One of the great Bronze Age series.
I should really try to read that.
It's so well written, and Colin's drawing, the Palmer inking, it's just it's magnificent.
Now, if anything deserves the hardcover treatment, it is this right here. Definitely.
Yeah. And if you can track down the old essentials, because they're all in black and white.
Yeah.
Colin and Palmer's art just sings in black and white. It is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 5. I have to let Ben know. Yep. I shall be ordering it for him.
Excellent.
It was almost sinister. God, Shane.
Pencils by both Dodson and John Romita Jr.
Well, hey, nothing against the boys. They like what they like. They read what they want. They get into comics great. If they don't, they don't. But I'm excited that Ben's excited and enjoying this. I haven't even read it yet, but he is just gangbusters excited for that book.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Here, this is Avengers Assemble by Jason Aaron. Pencils by Hitch, Garone, Cooter, and a bunch more thrown in there as well. This collects Avengers Assemble Alpha, Avengers issues 63 to 66, and Avengers Forever 12 to 15, and Avengers Assemble Omega. And this concludes Aaron's long-running Avengers arc.
And it's what, $30?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that is a good thing instead of the $175, $125 omnibuses.
War Across Time, which I'm thoroughly enjoying currently in monthly, is collected here.
Mm-hmm. Page 95.
Paul Levitz, Alan Davis. What else is there to say? Just read it. It's good.
And the Scarlet Witch series on page 97 gets a collection by Steve Orlando with Sarah Bocelli on the artwork chores, so you know it's going to be gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And it includes this year's annual, which was listed elsewhere.
That's
in this
right.
Marvel previews.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh wow! Look at that cover there for Hulk.
That's a real Kirby extension there. Oof.
Wow. Man, Hulk by Donny Cates, Volume 2, Hulk Planet, and the first volume of the new Miles Morales run, also available on page 100. and 101 there by Cody Ziegler, with pencils by Federico Vincentini on that one. I think that's about it for me, because I'm not going to...
Just get into a lot of nice solicitations for...
Let's pause for a minute here.
Epic Collections.
Page 109, The Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection. Spider-Man or Spider-Clone? So we've got... This is classic Bronze. This is like the clone stories that are really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
These originals by Jerry Conway, Ross Andrew. So this is classic Bronze Age Spider-Man. Issues 143 to 164. So it's the end of Conway's run, and then it goes into stuff by Len Wein, Archie Goodwin, Bill Mantlo, all great 70s Spider-Man.
You know it's good stuff if it has a word bubble on the cover. That's 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I love the 70s designs. Like you have like the debris in the streets, the cracked pavement.
Yep.
You know, the overflowing garbage can, Gwen's go-go boot. Like, come on.
Graffiti on the subway cars. You know, you got to make it as 70s as possible. Definitely.
Ooh, excuse me.
And
right there with you.
Yep. Epic Collection of Thunderbolts.
Great series.
Yes.
Just as like lightning ever should appear.
Yes.
Good collection of issues here too. Only 520 pages for $50, which means anywhere you find it, it'll probably be as cheap as 25. Kurt Busiek, Roger Stern, Peter David, John Ostrander. First 12 issues and more of the...
I mean, I remember when this came out, I was drowning in the Heroes Reborn. I mean, I didn't care for any of that stuff. And this series is just a tonic for the spirit. It was so good.
I want to find whoever signed off on this particular costume for Thor and just ask them why.
Yep, I remember that costume. This is when Roy Thomas was writing the book. Oh, yep, there's the guilty party. M.C. Wyman
Okay.
was the artist at the time.
Yeah. Not his finest.
God, I forgot about that costume. Wow.
I think I blocked that one out.
Yeah, Thor was running around with a bunch of genetically engineered little godlings called the God Pack. And he had those very godly octagons down the front of his torso. It's just...
It made him look like a remote control.
Remote control.
You could see like a giant holding him in his hand to turn on his TV with his with that in the owner. Like it's just not the best look.
Well, this can never go wrong.
Oh yes, of course.
So printed yet again.
Yeah.
The Dark Phoenix Saga, new printing. Oh, they're calling the Fate of the Phoenix now.
Well, this is the Epic Collection in particular. Page
one. Right. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yep.
Yeah, inside that tiny little print, it says the Dark Phoenix Saga.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it has it.
Oh, you get 129 to 141,
and you get.
So they're cutting it off. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ian. I apologize.
I was just going to say they also have Phoenix the Untold Story thrown in there as well,
which is great. And then they go through Days of Future Past.
Yeah, Days of Future Past. Wow.
And Kitty's Night Alone in the Mansion. These are all classics.
Oh yeah.
That's just that volume alone's a pretty good collection. Wow.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. It's good stuff. Kang.
And this would be a good collection to own as well. If you want as much backstory as you want on Kang, this is a very good place to find it here at page 115.
Now, Chris, you got to find some way else to say Kang, because I like when you say it in Doom, not so much with Kang.
Okay.
Save it for Doom.
Doom. All right. I'll well, they could be related though, in the history.
Well, that's true. Kang
may have descended from Doom.
And I can't really see Kang. That won't work either.
All right, Shane, I'll work on that for you.
Am I the only one who's super glad that this also includes Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 42?
Everybody should be glad about that.
Kind of an odd assortment of all the Kang stories out there. We've got 3 issues of Avengers by Roger Stern,
and those are excellent.
Yeah, so certainly worthy of inclusion. But beyond that, giant size Marvel Adventures, The Avengers number 1, and the Squirrel Girl thing that Ian just mentioned, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, these are these $10 more slim editions.
Sure.
They're supposed to be like to introduce characters to new readers. But you're right, Murda. They didn't put like the first appearance of Kang in there. I don't know.
I'm glad to see this returning. Anyway, this was great, and I always wish that there was more of it. Thor: The Mighty Avengers The Mighty Avenger graphic.
Oh, I never read this.
Yeah, I never read that either.
Read it. You'll love it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the first time I'd ever heard Chris Samnee's name.
Mm-hmm.
It was written by Roger Langridge, who also wrote and drew the Muppet Show comic, among other fun projects.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, it's very much a you could call it almost like a Marvel Age-esque story. So it is like very much more all ages than other versions, but it gets to the heart of the character, and I really felt like it deserved to continue, just like that Captain America. Also, they came out with a graphic novel of Captain America around the same time that was in a similar style that they just never did. But yeah, this is the first 8 issues and only 8 issues of that, along with the Free Comic Book Day from 2011. So give it a shot. And that's it, gents, for Marvel.
Marvelous.
All right, I'm gonna run because my bladder is that of an infant. I'll be back shortly, gentlemen. You continue. I'll be back with you in a few minutes.
All right.
Not a problem. All right, onward we go to Aftershock. Page 190. This collects the first 4 issues of the Vineyard by Brian Hawkins and Sammy Cavella. So if you were waiting on that, now you get a full collected version of that. Are there anything other than collections for Aftershock this month? The answer is no, and I hope it survives. Let's just put it that way.
It appears to be on life support at the moment.
They're very much putting new issues on hold as they deal with their money troubles. So
they're restructuring.
All right, over to Titan. And how about this? Heat Seeker, a Gun Honey series.
How about it?
Sexy thriller miniseries. Marked for death by a U.S. intelligence agency, Gun Honey, Joanna Tan. Joanna Tan turns a dolly racers to help her pull a vanishing act, but the killer hot on her trail, beautiful sociopath Sarah Clarid, will leave bodies strewn from New York to Las Vegas to Tijuana, Mexico, if it means cornering Dahlia and breaking her. Page 206 for some steamy action. Further down here, this actually looks pretty cool. Page 210, Noir Burlesque. Enrico Marini on the writing and the artwork chores on this. An atmospheric, violent crime caper set in the 1950s New York with everything from femme fatales to double crosses. Big fan of noir action, and this will give us that in spades. And I like the coloring and lack of the artwork to get that point across.
Yep, I do too.
Available September 6th, 2023, mind you, on page 210.
September. Oh my God.
Yep. Afro Samurai, the box set, on page 213. Anybody looking to read both volumes of Afro Samurai in one shot? They are available for you here on page 213, including the art cards for said Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai was an anime series starring Samuel L. Jackson a couple years back.
There's even a pull quote from Samuel L. here.
Yep. Got to figure out a way to get this on the big screen. My man Takashi Okazaki did his thing with this one.
Not just his thing, but his thang.
Indeed. Yep. Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you, sir, gentlemen. I'm light as a feather.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Going back up for a moment, you may be interested, Chris, on page 210, Noir Burlesque.
Am I ever? Oh.
It's very
Violent
much
crime caper set in 1950s New York.
Yep. And the artwork, as I said while you were gone, beautifully rendered watercolor, black and white with splashes of color in there. All right.
Is Titan the one doing Conan?
According to the cover, yes, but it doesn't seem to be solicited anywhere in this month's Titan.
Okay, I was wondering if maybe I'd missed it while I was in the lavatory.
Yeah, you haven't gotten there yet.
Whoa!
Oh yes.
Whoa!
Yes.
Star Trek: The Illustrated Oral History, the original cast. Wow. Shane.
Damn it.
Great cover, too.
Shane, you're muted.
Shane just nods wearily.
Shane somehow.
I did not know I was muted. I thought I unmuted.
I was wondering why you were being so quiet about Star Trek.
It's only $20 too, Shane. It's a hardcover.
Yeah, that might be a buy.
Yeah,
and I have to say I think it's on Amazon. The Center Seat documentary about Star Trek. That's like 10 or 11 parts long. I'm like halfway through it. It is awesome.
Nice.
If you've never watched it, it is awesome.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a historian.
DeForest Kelley, wonderful.
Oh yeah. Going over to Ablaze, page 222. Terror Man, Volume 1. This is from featuring kinetic, detailed art that crackles with movement and energy. If you love kick-ass action, this is a series for you. Dong-Woo Han and Jing-Ho Ko are the writing and the artists behind this. And this is manhwa, so this is not from Japan.
Those names sound Korean.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
This is essentially Korean manga.
Huh.
It looks like some nice action artwork to go along with it.
Yeah.
So Terror Man Volume 1, if you want to check that out. It is really feeling like an omission that Conan wasn't in this. It was on the back.
I mean, I am. Did I imagine it, or is it Titan on the cover?
No.
Yeah, it's on the back cover and the spine, and yet it's apparently not in.
Well, he's on sale in July, so it's going to be. He's going to be in the May previews. I'm assuming
It's coming.
Great. So they pre-solicited on
Yep.
previews. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're into the rest of the for the most part. Into Frank Miller Presents here. 238. Frank Miller's Pandora gives us a standalone story. The great evil behind the dimensional invaders is revealed as Annabeth uncovers the dark family secrets of her grandmother's disappearance. This is the one that's being co-written by Anthony Marinville and Chris Silvestri, with artwork by Emma Kubert.
Hmm.
And then the next page, Dan DiDio's Greater Good solicited, page 239.
Jim Calafiore on the art.
Yeah. No, we always love to see anything by Calafiore.
Yep.
Looks like the color is by Hi-Fi Studios too.
Ah, nice.
Yep, our old friend Brian Miller.
Very cool. And then Ronin Book 2 solicited. Part 4 in a 6-part series, page 240. And also, it really looks like they cut off their own solicitation with this artwork.
Yeah.
What they intentionally meant to do that. That looks like writing cut off to me.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, the writers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 240 nonetheless. We know who the writer is. That's all you need to know. Strangers in Paradise.
There you go. Strangers in Paradise.
Oh, so they're getting a new trade format.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Yeah. So
wow.
I cannot recommend
I'm going
this
to get
book
this.
enough.
Yeah, I'm going to get this because I had the omnibuses. They were destroyed in the flood. I stored 2 falls ago. So I'm going to pick this up.
Yeah.
4 exciting volumes. All right.
Yeah, page 245 for that.
I'm going to pick that up myself as well.
And, I don't use calendars anymore, or at least like physical calendars. But if I did, I would be picking up the Alex Ross Marvel Mural 2024 oversized wall calendar.
Which is and let's say something. And I know Murda especially appreciate this. Every year in my kitchen, there's either a vintage Marvel or DC calendar up.
Nice. For years, for me, it was the Ships of the Line. The Star Trek Ships of the Line. When I worked at an office, there was always a calendar up on the wall by my cubicle or what have you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Moving.
But as Shane was saying, I mean, we've talked this on the show many times, and I'm not saying this to be hyperbolic. Strangers in Paradise is one of the greatest comic series I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And it is a writer artist just at the peak of his powers.
Yeah, I am thrilled that Jamie always got a lot of satisfaction out of proving us wrong and getting us to read that.
So what you're saying is I should read it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. You've never ever read it?
Read it? No.
Oh.
Never read it.
And the first one, while great, is the worst of the bunch. Okay. The story just gets better and better.
Yeah.
As it goes on.
I heard there's a new trade coming out, so maybe I'll.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I was absolutely in tears at the end of the book, of the entire run.
Okay.
It's fabulous.
Can't get higher praise than that. 248, by the way, Ahoy Comics, Blacksmith, He to His Heart. Eric Palicki back with another moody tale that smartly blends familiar supernatural elements with the trappings of a classic pulpy crime story out of Ahoy. So if you want to check out something more along the lines of pulp, Blacksmith, Key to His Heart may be for you on page 248.
All right, gents, I'm going to take my leave. I made it to Strangers, which is my goal tonight. And I've got to take care of some stuff before tomorrow morning. So,
all right.
Thanks, good. Everybody.
Brother, I will see you soon.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care, my friend.
Good night,
Shane.
Alrighty. And then there were 3. Amulet Books putting out a G.I. Joe Classified. Now I wish Shane had stuck around for 2 more seconds. Page 256 has this one. Saying goodbye to the big city life is only the first challenge. Stan.
But he's moving to Springfield. That's no good.
Nope. Big mistake. Town that's eerily under the thumb of his mother's powerful employer. His mother? What? It's a novel. It's G.I. Joe. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. Note, it's a novel, so there's no pictures. But it's cool to see something in the G.I. Joe universe there, page 256.
And right next to it is some kind of SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Ooze in the Ocean, which has some kind of Francesco Francavilla art in it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a connection to some of the Bongo United Plankton SpongeBob comics of yesteryear, or if it's new material. But Amulet Books has it now.
Well, it also says novel next to it. So if there is, maybe there's pinups in the back. That's the only thing that I can think of. Maybe some Francavilla stuff from that. But I like that one of the writers is Nickelodeon.
Yes, the entire network collaborating with itself.
Yeah.
Well, if we could turn back a few pages real quick here to page 255. Yep, right there. Some names known to fans of 90s.
Oh,
Marvel.
God.
The Right Project #1, written by Tom DeFalco, with art by Ron Frenz, Sal Buscema, Ron Lim, and Robert Jones.
Wow.
It's a new superhero comic from some old names, well associated with like the MC2 line. I don't know what the Right Project is, but surely you recognize some of the names involved. It's a new superhero concept out of American mythology. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and again, coming soon to the Amazing Spider Talk feed is a interview with DeFalco and friends on their earlier Spider-Man run.
Oh, which I love.
So looking forward to that being released to the main feed. Once again, page 255 for the Right Project. Wait to find out what Right stands for. A whole lot of calendars. That's how you know you're getting to mid-year is calendars start coming out for the next year. Reference book on page 258. Both of these actually look pretty cool. So, specifically, Superheroes, The History of a Pop Culture Phenomenon from Ant-Man to Zorro by Brian Solomon. It's the ultimate reference book about the men and women in tights who fight for what's right and the comic book phenomenon that conquered the world. Full reference book here spanning the ages and the letters of superhero lore on page 258 there. And then directly next to it, Cinema of Swords, a history and guide to movies about knights, pirates, barbarians, and Vikings, and samurai and musketeers and gladiators. And Applause is new to me. I don't know if I've really seen their stuff before, but this looks like a nice combination of reference books to check out. Page 258. Issue 300 of Gold Digger. Wow. Page 261. Did not realize we'd gotten that far along with this, but yeah, Fred Perry, 300 issues of a independent comic. That is nothing to sneeze at right there.
And this is the penultimate issue.
Yep, we're getting to the conclusion after all these years. Described as Indiana Jones meets Final Fantasy. Page 261. I like this on page 263 here. Another Francesco Francavilla cover there. But Tim Seeley on the scripting chores along with Jordan Morris and Blake Howard. And we're supporting Norton on the artwork.
Always.
Carola Borelli and Diana Camero also included on that. And Chilling Adventures presents Camp Pickens OS. Further along there into the Chilling Adventures side of the Archie universe on page 263 for an all-new horror anthology one-shot. Can't wait for it. Sounds like a lot of fun. I love that. Equal parts Sleepaway Camp and American Horror Story 1984.
I mean, American Horror Story 1984 was already part Sleepaway Camp, so...
Doubling down on the Sleepaway Camp action.
Yeah, a little bit of recursive genetics happening there.
Avatar, as usual, has 87 covers of the exact same thing. Moving on. Sins of the Salton Sea. Look at that. What a cover, man.
Great cover.
That is very cool looking.
Beautiful. Page 2.
It's crime noir.
Mm-hmm. 5-issue miniseries by Ed Brisson and C.P. Smith. An incentive cover by Diodato. Wyatt, a professional thief living off the grid, is recruited by his brother for one last job. Their target, an armored car traveling down a desolate stretch of California highway. What could go wrong? Everything. Everything.
I may try out the first issue of this at least.
Yep. Crime noir and supernatural horror collide in this gritty heist gone wrong thriller. Issue 4 of Red Zone, Cullen Bunn and Diodato Jr.'s miniseries coming to a conclusion out of AWA on page 276.
Great Michael Cho variant. Oh
my God, yes. Wow. I could see the VHS on the wall. And trade paperback of Trojan by Daniel Kraus and Lacey available. First 4 issues of that on page 277. And page 278 brings us Ascendant, Star-Spangled Squadron by Alexander Marcus and David Campiti. In December 2012, the U.S. government launched secret programs to create superheroes called Ascendants. In July 2018, the U.S. government lost control over them. Now America enters a new era in which ordinary men and women can become the heroes we need or the monsters we fear. You can become an Autobot or you can become a Decepticon. This graphic novel lets us know what the world is like when things have gone horribly awry, and you can check that out from Buy-In Books on page 278. Talk about fun covers as well. Page 281, Black Mask brings us Leaded Gasoline, number 1.
1980 story. Killer stalks the streets of South Central Los Angeles.
Yep. Task force are assembled. Detectives work overtime, but the bodies keep coming. Story of a community college professor who believes there's more to the story than a single madman. Find out what that entails in Leaded Gasoline, number 1. Once again, page 281 for that one.
I only had the money and the time to give all these books a try.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Murr just gave an epic sigh of resignation. It's majestic.
So many books, so little time.
Yep. I'm just going to call this one out for the name alone. Page 284, Sulphur Wells. Sounds like it could be the name of like a writer, like an underground writer, or even like a heavy metal band from the 80s. Instead, it's a graphic novel by Otis Crane and David Dion here on page 284.
To me, it sounds like the name of a sewage treatment plant.
And that.
Moving on.
Oh, shit. Mother Russia, number 1, page 292.
Oh, it's a zombie apocalypse story in World War II.
That sounds like it's made for you, Chris.
Yes and no. I zombie stories tend to not always put steam in my strides. So,
but this is World War II Russia.
That's true. It is an area of great interest of mine.
1 baby, 1 rifle, 2 million zombies. That's a lot of zombies for 1 rifle.
All written and drawn by Jeff McComsey, although there is apparently an incentive cover by Mike Avon Oeming.
Nice. Yep. And a lot of CEX Publishing. This looks pretty cool too. On the same page, 292, Catalyst Press brings us Kariba by James Clark with artwork by Daniel Clark. An African fantasy adventure graphic novel inspired by the mythology of the Zambezi River and the history of the Kariba Dam, one of the largest dams ever constructed. Fascinating. Kariba graphic novel, Catalyst Press, page 292. Lady Death still putting it out after all these years.
I've never read one issue of Lady Death. I know nothing about the character.
I think I may have read one out of pure curiosity, and it was like, not for me. 297, Monster Bash. They did the Monster Bash magazine.
What strikes my interest is that they have art by the great Carrie Gamble, who's an artist who I love from the 80s, who did work on Power Man and Iron Fist, among other books, including the classic issue 775, Return to Kunlun.
Nice. Fan flashbacks on collecting monster memorabilia and more. The 50th issue of Monster Bash. 297. And we've reached Dark Horse.
Oh my God, I forgot they were banished.
How the mighty have fallen.
Wow.
To find them making their home here in the back pages is somewhat akin to finding a former titan of industry sleeping under a newspaper in Central Park. It saddens me.
Yeah. My question is...
It's tremendous.
Unless we hear from somebody who works at Diamond who tells me one way or the other, one of two things happened here. Either this was Diamond's decision or this was Dark Horse's decision. Because Dark Horse may have just been like, well, we don't want to pay for the front of the book anymore.
Could be, yeah.
And hence they wound up back here, or it could have been a combination of anything. But still plenty of stuff here. And most importantly, unlike another certain publisher that moved to the back of the book, this has covers.
Although, as we'll see, that other the former front-featured publisher you mentioned has cleaned up its act a bit.
I know. Last month they started, and I'm happy to see that they've gone a little bit further down that road for this. But plenty of stuff for Dark Horse this month. 298, Avatar: The Last Airbender Omnibus Imbalance. Puts together the Imbalance volumes 1 through 3 here. Another tale in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe. And also Beatrix Rose Vigilante, the graphic novel coming out by Stephanie Phillips and Valeria Favoccia. This collects the first 5 issues of that. Also available there on page 298. Richard Corbin's Den, Volume 1, collected in hardcover here. The inspiration for the Den segment of the cult classic film Heavy Metal. That is very cool right there.
Yeah.
128 pages in hardcover format, and it's Richard Corbin, page 299. Going further along here, and The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos.
Great title.
Yes, indeed. Page 301 here. From New York Times best-selling and multi-Eisner Award-winning writers of Something is Killing the Children, The Department of Truth, The House of Slaughter, and the artist on Victor and Nora, a Gotham love story, comes this LGBTQ plus horror hero coming-of-age series that's Invincible meets Doom Patrol. You had me at the title of the series. You had me at the description just as much.
And then they invoked the name of Invincible just for good measure.
Indeed. Yep. Yeah, no, this looks like it could be pretty cool. Tate Bromby and Nick Robles on the writing chores. Isaac Goodhart on the artwork. Page 301, The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. Look at that, Savage Squad 6. It's not the Suicide Squad, we swear.
There's a number in it.
Oh, man. And also happy to see that they're continuing with the Star Wars stuff, even if it's, just the all ages portion of it, the Dark Horse.
Well, we got a lot of years of great Star Wars material from Dark Horse.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. Yep. Bendis's Ones, along with Jacob Edgar, also solicited on page.
I noticed we missed this. There's a Jim Starlin Rags Morales book. Order and Outrage.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
I just got in issue number 1 from DCBS last week.
Totally missed that. Wow.
Damn.
I look forward to your analysis.
That's on page 302.
By the way, seeing the Saga Yojimbo, I went down to my library.
Nice.
I'm finally going to take the plunge.
All right.
All right.
So,
let me know what you think, sir.
Yep, you bet.
Drawn in Quarterly brings us Offshore Lightning by Saito Nozuna. Began making comics late. She was in her 40s when she submitted a story to a major Japanese publishing house and won an award for newcomers at the age of 40. Wow. Offshore Lightning collects Saito's early work, as well as 2 recent graphic novels, In Captivity from 2012 and Solitary Death Building from 2015, both focused on aging and death. Offshore.
See, gang, until you're dead, it's never too late.
Very true.
I want to point out, Onward Towards Our Noble Deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Shigeru Mizuki, who I believe did the Showa, the classic Showa series of Japanese history.
Mm-hmm.
This is based on his experiences as a Japanese soldier in World War II. It is amazing. Because he, we often think of the Japanese World War II as a fanatical, fight to the last man. I mean, there's obviously truth to that because most of them did, but he really pulls away that facade, and you see what those soldiers endured, what the horrific discipline was like. It's great. I can't recommend enough if you're interested in the Pacific War or Imperial Japan in World War II.
Both of those are offered on page 304. New superhero volume here, page 305, from Talent Caldwell and Various, along with Michael Dolce, The Sire. This is volume 1, Origins. Not all costumes are a perfect fit. Donald Wright woke up trapped inside a superhero costume. Wow. Bestowed with amazing powers, he's forced to battle supervillains against his will. This collects the first volume of that. Very interesting.
I was going to say that the art is very nice, and it says a love letter to the 90s superhero comics.
Oh, yeah. It basically looks like Janice Vell's costume, to be honest with you. Page 305 there, The Sire, volume 1. Michael Dolce and Talent Caldwell and various others.
And I have to step away for a few minutes, but I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Just proceed. I'll be back.
Okay.
Not a problem.
All right. See you in a few minutes.
All right. How about this here? Page 311. I have to mention it just for the George Washington of it all. 2 originals, George Washington and the American Comic Book. And that Beatles-esque cover down below, like I'm imagining images of a bunch of different, but there have been like so many different versions of this image over the years. I think of the one of the Beatles with the various colors like that.
Yeah, it's Andy Warhol.
Here. Yeah, but this is contains an original sketch by Michael Golden and comes signed by Michael Golden and writer Renee Witterstetter on page 311. So check out Cloak Crusader. You might get some Golden.
George Washington in comics and pop culture.
Yeah. Words you don't say every day.
Yeah. Interesting angle.
Indeed. Yep. Moving forward here, love the artwork on page 313 for a boy named Rose. Gael Geneller, set in Paris in the 1920s. Rose is a boy, and like all the girls he spent time since he was born, he wants to dance at Les Jardins, a cabaret managed by his mother. As Rose blossomed into a 19-year-old young man, he discovers love and tries to find his place in a society that's not ready to welcome true love between two men with open arms. Perfect for Pride Month, A Boy Named Rose out of Fair Square Comics on page 313. Do check it out. Great artwork to go along with it. And then for something completely different, Howard Chaykin on 314, Sunshine Patriots. An explosive new series from Howard Chaykin.
He's digging into old-time Hollywood again. This time all the way back to 1913.
Wow.
Follow the adventures of two former members of Roosevelt's Rough Riders who arrive in Hollywood in 1913 and find themselves caught in the web of a dangerous new world. Going up against Sicilian mobsters and unscrupulous studio executives and all that kind of good stuff. Sunshine Patriots is a must-read for fans of the Western genre and anyone interested in the early days of Hollywood and the formation of one of the most important facets of modern American culture.
Okay.
So he took us back to the 50s with Spaceman Sam, and now he's taken us all the way back to the early 20th century.
Yep, with a very much Superman spit curl on one of the main characters there with the Sunshine Patriots. All right, 314. Check it out.
Yep, that's 52 pages for $9.99, incidentally.
Okay. Moving further along, onward into 317, Fantagraphics, Hidden River by Diego Arandojo and Jorge Fantoni. The graphic novel which tells the story of real and fictional Argentine authors investigating and collecting disparate anecdotes of secret societies, connecting strands of a plot hidden in the shadows of Buenos Aires that extend out to entanglesome of the most notable occultists of the 20th century. Interesting premise there. Mixing together the fictional with the real life. Once again, Hidden River on page 317.
Sounds a lot like South American fantasy to me.
Indeed. Yep. By the way, to the left of that, any of you Walt Disney fans, you get Uncle Scrooge Operation Galleon Grab at Disney Masters Volume 22 for further Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck action on page 317.
Gentlemen, good to see you both again.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the fold.
We got out of First Second. This one caught my eye on page 318. Dictatorship. It's easier than you think. And great. Sarah Kenzior and Andrea Chalupa. Now I'm hungry. By Cassia Babis. Do you crave the power to shape the world in your image? Can you tell lies without blinking an eye? Do you see enemies all around you? If you answered yes to all of the above, then this is the job for you. Nothing quite like a how-to book on how to be a dictator. Page 3.
And this hits a little too close to home in some ways.
It's a product of the Gaslit Nation.
Gaslit Nation.
Assume it's a podcast. It sounds like one.
Yep, it does indeed. Nice. By the way, on that same page, Family Style Memories of American from Vietnam. Originally posted on Instagram, this young adult graphic novel details the author's childhood immigration to America with his family through the lens of particularly meaningful foods and meals. Nice window through the soul there as you equate food.
Vietnamese food is so good.
Oh, yes. Yep. One of the best pho places in all of New York City will occasionally deliver to us because it's on the other side of the Bronx. And every single time it does, we immediately jump at the opportunity to have some pho and order a banh mi because it's easily the best Vietnamese food in all of New York City. Page 318.
I was fortunate to travel through Vietnam about 10 years ago. What cuisine?
Nice. Envious of you, sir.
You'll get there, honey. You'll get there.
I'm sure someday. Okay, I'm not going to read this page outside of. Have you checked out the comic book market? Yeah, I think we all have.
Is Overstreet? I'm sorry. Go back a minute. Does Overstreet have a price guide now for collecting movie posters? Oh, they do. The Overstreet Guide to Collecting Movie Posters.
Oh wow,
that's interesting. It's from. It looks like it's from 2020, but
yeah, that's pretty cool. Spotlight on the Phantom.
Gold Key Years, Volume 1.
Yep, the Gold Key Years, 328.
And Volume 2.
Yep. So a whole bunch of old school Phantom comics available to anybody looking to read them. Bill Harris and Bill Wignante on the artwork chores.
Another movie I still haven't seen.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Phantom film yet. Shane would be going, if you were here.
Well, 328 has both of those for you if you want to check out the old school stuff out of Hermes Press.
Hermes, I think it was Hermes Press did a some years back. Peter David and the great Black Panther artist Sav Lula did a Phantom story. Remember that, Mert?
Yes, I do, and you're correct, Chris. It was Hermes Press.
It was very, very entertaining.
Yep, it took a while to finish it, but once it was all out, it was worth the wait.
Can I point out Tap Dance Killer? Page 329. Now, first off, there's nothing scarier than a tap dancer. I mean, I gotta say,
theater people in general are terrifying.
No idea what you're talking. No, mind you, I went to basically a performing arts high school, so I feel you. Tap Dance Killer by Sakura and artwork by Donnie. Well, his name is Donnie.
Come on, just put a quarter in the jar. Go for it.
All right.
Adiwijaja. There.
Thank you, Murr.
Threw myself on the grenade for you.
Always the master.
Ooh, there we go. I'm so tongue-twisty today that I knew that I would just fail miserably if I tried it. But this is about an actress named Nikki St. Clair, who was the sweetest gal in the city until she was cast in a horror show musical as the Tap Dance Killer. Now unable to shake the role, this 1920-esque bizarre mobster assassin is out on the streets dealing damage with a theatrical flair.
That leaves him quite literally slain in the aisles.
Oh my!
I just thought she'd be handicapped by the porn star name that she has, but that's just me.
Hey, I mean that may have contributed in one way or the other. All I know is that this sounds amazing.
It's a spin-off from, as you can see down below there, it's a spin-off of Apama the Undiscovered Animal. Which is kind of a small press favorite of mine from recent years. And it's spawned quite a few spin-offs, so many that the creators, including Ted Sakura, cited there, he seems more interested in writing the spin-offs than he is in continuing with Apama itself.
Got it.
In fact, Tap Dance Killer has spawned a few spin-offs of its own, which are also on offer here on this same page from Hero Tomorrow.
Nice. Well, this is the hardcover edition of Tap Dance Killer if you want to check it out on page 329. I just saw a production of Sweeney Todd on Sunday, and it was absolutely delightful.
Mm-hmm. As always, Levinstein, I greatly admire your lust for life when it comes to getting out, enjoying different media. Magnificent, sir.
I try. This one
you enjoy your city.
This one had Josh Groban in it, for that matter.
Huh.
The Jodorowsky Library, Book 6, Mad Woman of the Sacred Heart.
Mobius.
Yep, Mobius and Jodorowsky, $337, offered again. They're titans of the industry, and both of them are amazing. All right. Now down into IDW, and they have actual cover.
Yes.
That made me happy. Okay.
Yep, it's nice to see them back on track again.
Indeed. Yep.
Now IDW used to be had a premiere section in the front too, right? Yeah.
Indeed, they did.
For years, yeah.
Yep. And for the last couple of months, they haven't had covers, and now they do. Bryn Mawr, issue 1, Steve Niles and Damian Worm bring us a new horror series on page 349.
Look at that Francavilla cover. Oh, God.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
What a dynamic artist he is.
Yep. Turner Island has a secret, one tracing back to when it was named after Mark's ancestors, Mark Turner. Who or what is Bryn Mawr? Read to find out, page 349. We got another Godzilla one-shot there by John Layman.
The best of Rodan.
Yep, it's a collection of quality Rodan stories from the IDW library.
Nice.
Including some written by John Layman and Cullen Bunn, among others. And down at the bottom of the page is a new Godzilla thing called Godzilla Here There Be Dragons, written by Frank Thierry, art by Inaki Miranda. It's kind of an alternate history thing about, what if Sir Francis Drake, while exploring in the 16th century, happened upon Monster Island and ran afoul of Godzilla?
Okay. Let me guess. Bad things. Bad things happened.
Mm-hmm. If you're Sir Francis Drake, yes.
Yes.
I have to get this. I totally missed this Star Trek series.
Yeah.
Which is all about Cisco and Deep Space Nine characters. So I'd have to just wait for the trade. But man, I'm sorry I missed this.
Not to mention the Star Trek Defiance series.
Yeah, I can't. Well.
Yep.
Trade on that too.
Yeah. All that on page 351, issue 5 of Defiant, and issue 9 of the main Star Trek series. Issue 9 of that. We get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures Volume 1. Eric Burnham and Tim Lattil. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first appeared in 84, but it wasn't until 87 that a catchy theme song and action-packed cartoon helped make them a global phenomenon and helped me like pizza. True story. Apparently, my parents said I never wanted to eat it until suddenly the Ninja Turtles were eating it all the time, and then that's all I could ask for as a kid. But page 353 brings us the Saturday Morning Adventures by Burnham, and that looks like it is awesome. Also looking forward to that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie that's going to be coming out in August.
Like you said, a lot of movies this summer, honey.
Mm-hmm. The Complete Beginner's Guide to Drawing Manga is a how-to book by Sonia Leong on page 354 by Ilex Press. Pretty sure it's been solicited before, but this is also, unfortunately, only available in the U.S., Canada, and U.S. territories, so nothing outside of that, probably because it has licensed artwork. But if you want to, know a little bit more about how to draw yourself some manga, you can find out how on page 354. All right. I saw it. Kenji Nakazawa out of Last Gasp. Life in Hiroshima during the war was difficult for 6-year-old Kaiji and the Nakazawa family, but they made the best of it. On his way to school one bright August morning, Kaiji was unaware his hometown would soon be turned into a world of horrors. That morning, he watched as a single airplane soared through the clear blue sky, carrying with it the most powerful weapon that had ever been created. It was all about to fall on Kaiji City, changing his life forever. This is the true story of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and its effects seen through the eyes of cartoonist Kaiji Sawa. 358.
Well,
yeah,
one of those key turning points in all of human history. So,
absolutely, well worth checking out. I mean, it's not going to be. It's going to be a hard book to get through, I'm sure. But Last Gasp Comics has it for you there. 358. All right. Let's move a little bit forward here.
As always, my friend, you're a master coordinator and producer.
I try, my friend. I try.
And I should mention to the listeners that if we could, we'd go through everything, but then we'd all probably die. I would collapse. So.
Well, 372, I have to mention, just for its psychedelic mix of Breaking Bad, Desperado, and Whisper of Apocalypse Now.
Just a whisper of Apocalypse Now.
A little bit, just a little hint in the air, like a little bit of through the wind. Mezcal by Kevin Stevens. Action-packed, south of the border film noir with tones of Tarantino, Rodriguez, and Miller.
Wow.
Yeah. And the artwork is kinetic as hell.
Yeah, it sure is.
Insane. 372 for that. Check it out. It looks great. 374. Sal would not let us move on.
No, that's right. Yep.
We didn't mention 374. Uncle Sal's Atomica Omnibus Volume 1, God is Red. Andrew Dabb and Uncle Sal himself bringing this one back into print.
This is the entire story, isn't it?
Got it. Yep. Entire volume there. I guess we'll just have to have Sal on again. Anyway, 374. If you want to go ahead and check it out of Mercury Comics. If you have never looked at Atomica before, it is well worth checking out. Mm-hmm. It's got a whole second page of solicitation for you for a nice bigger look at the cover. Includes over 75 pages of all new art featuring rare and never before seen covers and pinups. This is all the stuff that was in the Kickstarter edition not too long ago. Yep. Good to see. All right, moving forward down here. Wow. Xeno #1, page 380. 40 pages of subversive sci-fi from the megawatt creators behind That Texas Blood, The Dead Lucky, Pink Lemonade, and more. Psychedelic sci-fi by Chris Condon, Melissa Flores, Phil Hester, and Jordan Thomas. All great names right there.
Yeah.
Because the future is getting weirder every day, we give you Xeno #001, the first of 3 40-page intraocular lozenges of subversive sci-fi to cure your awful awareness of it all. Groovy, man, groovy.
Both uplifting and hopeless at the same time. I love it.
Try not to worry. The insertion process will be guided by the megawatt brilliance of Oni's brightest talents, past, present, and future, as they slowly tune your hopes, dreams, desires, paranoia, alienation, anxiety, and adrenaline to produce the desired results. Yep, this elicit's not getting around.
Murd, you'll get this reference. The nozzle is still calibrating. Please do not fear the nozzle. They just put out the first clip from the Venture Brothers movie that's coming soon, by the way.
Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart, or something like that. It is a very Venture Brothers title.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 383, by the way, Rick and Morty #6. Epic Battle of the Ricks. Hypertech bro Glug Vronsky wants to become the new Rick. A Rick 2.0, if you will. That's probably not a good idea. Page 383 for that. Oh, wow. Did you see this, Chris, in the solicitation?
No, I have not. I'm looking at the first time now.
Parallel by Matthias Lehmann. Carl Kling's story is one of Revelations, and these he has addressed in a letter to his daughter Hella, who had disowned Carl many years ago. Taking place between the end of World War II and the 80s, Parallel chronicles Carl's efforts to comply with social norms in order to keep his sexuality a secret. It also paints a picture of a life torn between conformity and rebellion and the cruel realities of 20th century German society, where homosexuality was prescribed and punishable until 1994. Wow. What a tale.
That's quite a lot to unpack there. It sounds fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Parallel, available in softcover, page 384, and the artwork is
great artwork. Great artwork.
Wow.
Atmospheric as all hell.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna have to bail after tomorrow's, gentlemen.
Yep. All good. We're almost.
Yeah.
I guarantee you we'll be shortly done after.
I didn't even mean to say rush to it. I realized we were almost there anyway, but
yeah. No, it's all good. Anything before then, Murd?
Probably not.
no, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. I'm as usual doing my slow roll, and if anything comes, I will stop.
I wish it was summer, then I could hang on. But
oh no, please, by all means. 397. I'll mention real quick. Thanks, Romina, by Gael, that is Speziani. After an unpaid internship upon graduating from college, young Latina Romina starts a job as an account coordinator at Lockroy Post, television post-production house. But her first day feels like an unmitigated disaster. Romina has no office yet. The team is dealing with server issues and pushed deadlines. Yet Clay, the coworker who's supposed to be showing her the ropes, keeps fostering paperwork on her rather than letting her help. On a phone call, her sister and father insist she should abandon ship and pursue a master's. But Romina decides to stay and prove herself no matter what.
I don't mean this as a put down. This sounds too much like real life of too many people.
I was going to say, this sounds ridiculously soul crushing. 397. If you want to experience a job that you hate, check out Thanks, Romina.
Probably with prettier illustrations than real life, though.
Very, very true. Very true. Yes. Has that going for it. Absolutely adorable. Page 405.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Molong, Fun and Friends. Okay. Ooh. Page 411. The Pink Elephant. Look at that cover.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep. E.N.E. Pliskin and Benson Chin, from the writers of Heavy Metal Drummer, The Purple Oblivion, and The Firstborns, comes this 80s slasher, lysergic, weird, indie Lynch-esque story. Wow. A group of teens on a road trip meet a creepy old woman at a gas station. A brief back and forth conversation with her leads to a night of acid trips, teen hijinks, and a giant killer with an elephant head. Things are about to get weird. They already are.
I was going to say they're about to get weird.
Yeah, I mean you're having group acid trip or apparently multiple acid trips. So
yeah. I think things are definitely weird. Definitely weird.
All right.
And here we are at tomorrow's.
All right. So first of all, look at Alter Ego 183 Murd. Covering gold and silver bronze artist Irv Novick.
Mm-hmm. I see some MLJ stuff there on the front cover.
Yep. Interviews with Urban Family members, tributes by Denny O'Neil, Mark Evanier, Paul Levitz. Alter Ego is such an invaluable publication to always put the spotlight on these great artists from the past. Yep. And if you'd be so kind of look at that. Oh, that back issue 146. Wow. Gene Colan artwork on Daredevil, focusing on Daredevil's swinging 70s adventures. And you've got Merch Challenges and Unknown in the Bronze Age.
Yep. Never been my favorite concept, and the Bronze Age is probably not their proudest hour, but they're delving into it anyway. But I'm more interested in the villain profiles on the histories of Sinestro and Mr. Fear.
Well done, Murd.
Nice.
Well done. Yeah, that's a definite pick. And then if you go to the next page, please, Ian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So look at this. Simon and Kirby's mainline comics hardcover. So this is when Simon and Kirby briefly had their own publishing line in 1954. Unfortunately, as I'm sure Murd can attest, this is the time period when comics were really taken on the nose with the seduction of the innocent, the Senate hearings, and so forth. So mainline definitely suffered because of that. They had 4 titles: Bullseye, Foxhole, Police Trap, and In Love. So I think it was, it just says it closed its doors 2 years later. But if you love the Simon and Kirby history, this is a vital period that people should definitely check out.
Very good.
All right, gentlemen. The dog must be walked. Lunch must be made. Documents must be prepared.
Excellent. Bye,
friends. Murd, I will see you in your mustache soon, my friend.
Oh, soon indeed.
Good night, brothers. Take care.
All right.
Ciao.
Hey, Chris.
All righty. We do not have that much left, but I will mention just in passing here 423 Heart Eyes. Dennis Hopeless has a sanity-eating monster that ended humanity. So clearly that's a all-ages book. This is the complete series of said Heart Eyes. So if you want to check that out, you get it all 144 pages of it for only $20 on page 423. Great price for that. And Weldon Owen, The Beatles by Terry O'Neill, the definitive collection hardcover. 60th anniversary of the Please Please Me Beatles' first studio album with rare and never before seen photographs of the Fab Four, all available in this collection.
Mm.
Nice.
Someone inform the Christman House.
Indeed. Yep. 424 for that. All right. Anything before manga, sir?
Not at all.
Okie dokie, then onward we go. Past the very end of the book here, which seems to go on forever. On we are to the manga.
I think Mob Psycho has finally stopped stalking us, Ian.
I don't know how they managed it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how I could possibly do the manga section without that ad. I don't know. Oh well. Page 459. Started off here out of Viz. Goodbye, Eerie. An explosive story from the extraordinary talent behind Chainsaw Man and Look Back. Yurita's movie-making career started with a request from Yuta's mother to record her final moments. But after her death, Yuta meets a mysterious girl named Eerie, who takes his life in new directions. The two begin creating a movie together, but Eerie harbors an exclusive secret in this poignant story about coping with loss. Love a story about movie making, and to add some twists into that in the process, I'm completely down for this. Tatsuki Fujimoto, 459. Give it a shot. Goodbye, Eerie. And then, age 461.
Some authentic Marvel manga.
Yes, indeed. Well, not that any of us will be talking about anything involving manga anytime soon in Marvel, but everything changes for you when he finds one of Spider-Man's costumes abandoned in an alleyway. At first, it's fun to put on the costume and play hero, but when powerful enemies start to appear, you quickly realizes he's out of his element. Still, with Spider-Man nowhere to be found, the city needs someone to save it. And that's how you get Spider-Man Fake Red by Yusuke Osawa. So it's not quite Spider-Man, but close enough to Spider-Man because he's wearing Spider-Man stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's certainly spider adjacent.
Indeed. Yep. And then Snicked is directly next to that. This is back in 2003, fresh off the success of A Blame. Tsutomu Nihei connected with Marvel Comics, writing and drawing the limited series Wolverine Snicked. And this is a darker, more terrifying dimension presented here in a deluxe edition, available in one hardcover. Wolverine Snicked on page 461. Check it out. Now I've tried to find at least one more that catches my eye. 463 may very well be it. I'm just sticking Viz because they seem to be doing really well this month.
All right.
Till I Love Myself, the journey of non-binary manga artist. Poppy Pesuyama is excited about having the option to choose neither on forums that ask for their sex as they are about their new job working as an assistant from manga artist X. But then he sexually harasses them. A bravely blunt autobiography about confronting the tangled traumas of gender dysphoria and workplace sexual harassment. So this is not for the faint of heart here on page 463, but it's based on a true story and looks like it's going to be well worth checking out. just for the artwork alone, the artwork actually was really great. Heavy stuff. And I think that's probably it, unless something else catches my eye in the next 5 seconds. And I think I'm going to call it. Any tchotchkes?
As a matter of fact, yes, Ian. I'm afraid they've been offering us some action figures too tempting to be ignored the last several months. So, yep, a couple of page numbers to mention here. Page 31. Yeah, those.
Luckily, I'm already scrolling, so I'm at page 31, and oh my, I know exactly what you mean. Holy crap.
Yep, almost everything Reaction is offering this month. We've got a few Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors action figures. Skeleton Marge, Inside Out Bart, Alien Invader Kang disguised as Bob Dole right after they ripped the Dole face off of him, and Homer is the Grim Reaper.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Quite. And there's some Godzilla toys under that. On the next page, we've got some repackagings of the, I'm pretty sure it's just the Palisades Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem action figures. Just in time for the upcoming Disney Plus Electric Mayhem series.
Nice.
And for fans of The Office, at the bottom of page 32, we've got action figures of different Office characters as the characters they play in that action film within a series, Threat Level Midnight.
Oh, that's great. Oh, wow. And on the very next page, not that I would ever own it, but the fact that they actually made a Thundercats Thunder Tank. Wow. M33. If I had a place to put it and I had $450 just lying around, just, burning a hole in my pocket, I'd be purchasing this. I do not, but any of you who do, by all means.
Did such a thing exist in the 80s, do you think?
I think there may have been a version of it, but certainly not as accurate as this for the looks of it. There had to have been, because they had a pizza launcher for the Turtles, so there had to have been a Thunder Tank.
Yes.
It's
an opportunity I don't think they could have missed. It's damn cool package design, too.
Yes, it is. All right.
And not quite there yet. Let's see. There were 2 other pages I marked that had a couple of interesting toys.
I'll just mention then the Mego DC Aquaman Classic 50th Anniversary 8-inch figure while I'm on this page.
I think Shane or Chris would both be happy you did that.
Got it. M36 for that.
Yeah, there's some interesting looking TMNT variant stuff on pages 64 and 65.
Okay, scroll all the way down for that. There we go. I feel like there's more and more pages to this thing every single month. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Nice. Casey Jones skull face. You got a animated Casey Jones. You got, Archie Comics Slash. Huh. Okay. Good stuff.
Yep. And more on the following page there.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade exclusive Teen Titans lunchbox. The fact that it's the Select Your Turtles screen for the lunchbox, that is awesome.
Yep, I do remember that image.
Yep. Many an hour spent playing that in my youth. Absolutely.
And there's a couple action figures based on the recent TMNT The Last Ronin story.
Yep. All of which are excellent designs.
And Michelangelo as the Mummy for some reason.
Because why not? All right.
And last thing I'll mention, on page 73, M73, you've got some cool looking Popeye action figures, Popeye, Bluto, Olive Oil, and Olive's brother Castor Oil, complete with a Jeep.
Oh, wow.
We're going all the way back to the Thimble Theater days here.
Nice.
And next to it, Umbrella Academy action figures.
And all of which are fantastic. And I can't wait for the last season of that to hit finally. they're such unique things because like I love the comics and I love the show and they live separately very much, but like there's enough of the spirit of the comic in the TV show, and I'm glad we got at least one more season of that to go. So good stuff.
Which streaming series has that?
That's Netflix.
I thought so. Explain why I have not seen any of it.
Yep. No badong for you. So that's well, again, maybe someday we'll be able to write that shit. But I'm still disappointed that we never got the Genndy Tartakovsky Popeye animated movie that we all deserve. Yep. There's a full animatic of a version of it available online that you may be able to find somewhere hidden in the recesses of the internet, but we never got the full complete movie. I think that would have been terrific.
Pretty sure I've seen a clip of that somewhere, complete with voice track.
Yep. And there's full voice for the animatic as well. But the one that you're talking about, was like sort of like a preview clip that they tried to get somebody to buy the movie, and that was fully animated. Yep. All right. Mission accomplished.
All right.
Terrific. As we go from 4 to 2 to finish it out, we make sure that previews is always done for you fine folks. Fantastic.
You're the reason why we do what we do.
Yep. And you're the reason that we do what we do for sure. Thanks to patreon.com/comicgeekspeak and your continued support of the show. And we thank you so much for any bit of support that you can give to us in any form. Patreon.com/comicgeekspeak for that. Patreon.com/comic timing for my own personal Patreon as well. If you want to throw a few bucks my way, by all means. But most importantly, thank you for listening. And that's what matters. And now the role of Shane will be played by the Moid.
Timing couldn't have been better. I just brought up the contact info, so I can now Shane it up.
All right, fantastic. Over to you, sir.
Okay. If you'd like to send us an email, our email address is comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. If you prefer to send a voicemail and let us hear your sultry tones, just dial 267-702-6642. Our voicemail does still work, we've discovered recently. You can like us on Facebook and join our Comic Geek Speak supergroup there to talk back to us about any of our recent episodes you like, or just start a discussion thread on any geeky topic you like. You can go to thecomicforums.vanillacommunity.com, our original online forum, where you can do the same thing. You can follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @ComicGeekSpeak. You can go to youtube.com/comicgeekspeak, where you can watch video versions of all of our recent episodes, including this one. It's a great way to follow along with our brisk walk through the previews catalog every month. We give special thanks, as always, to those of you who have supported the show financially via PayPal or Patreon or whatever other method of payment you prefer. We truly appreciate it, and the show would not be what it is today without your support. And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.
All right, you know what? You can't stash the stash.
I love the little bit of the Book of the Month Club music that just sneaks in there at the end.